Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. It's good to see you all here today. Hello, hello. So, I'm going to be bringing on my guest in just a moment, but I just wanted to say hello. It is good to see you all. Welcome, welcome. If you have any if you have any questions for my guest, please let me know. I would love to hear them. Let's see. Okay. Need to make things bigger. Alright, so I'm going to say hello to everyone. Then I'm going to bring on Magnetar. I'm very excited. Hello, Laura, the parent mod. It's good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Sharon, one of my beloved channel members. It's good to see you too. Hello, hello. Duchess, it's good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. It's all good. You're here now, Richard. Welcome, welcome. That Magnetar guy looks sus. Okay, can everyone hear me properly? Hello, Joshua. Welcome, and yes, the cosmic horror legend himself. Hello, Grizzly. Good to see you too. Welcome, welcome. Lady Vengeance, Lady Legion. Hello, welcome, welcome. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Okay, I think I haven't heard any we can hear you, we can't hear you yet. Just let me know. Oh my god, I nearly spilt my drink. Can people hear me? A little bit worried. Like... Oh good, okay. There's just a delay. I was like, oh no! Oh no! But anyway, come forth, guest. Talk to the people. Magnetar, can you can unmute now.
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Welcome. So, would you like to introduce yourself to the chat?
Yes, I would love to. Hi, chat. I am Magnetar. I have a sci-fi narration channel, and I'm Lady's best friend.
Nice.
That's, I think, my bio, actually.
You don't have that on your bio.
Oh, well, it'll be there now.
He's like, I just hear this like frantic typing. It's like, yes.
I didn't think she would fact check this.
This is what this channel's about: facts, memes, and chaos.
Sounds exciting.
Joshua says your derelict series was fantastic, Mag.
So Joshua, I have I want to say like a 20-page derelict story from the author that I still have to record and post, that I was sent 2 months ago or something like that. So that'll be coming at some point. Sorry, but we do have more derelict. The author is still creating those, as far as I am aware.
Nice. I'm just fixing. I forgot to add my status and everything. Don't look at me. Hang on.
You're good. Hi, everybody in the chat. I recognize a lot of names here, so it's awesome to see you guys. Thanks for joining us. And just to check on the chat's end, is my audio sounding okay to you all? Do I need to be louder? Quieter? All right.
Oh yes, snacks are most definitely needed in this chat as well. So chat, I have questions for Mags, but also feel free to ask them as well. So I've already done. I'm gonna be organized and cross off the questions I've asked. Okay, so what do you like about sci-fi horror?
What don't I like about sci-fi horror? What I do like about it, honestly, is I think there's just so much you can do with it. I mean, I guess in the general sense, I love science and technology, like space and aliens and all that stuff. So that's an easy explanation to my love for sci-fi. But also, it's like, it's a way for us to kind of envision a future that we might experience as humanity. And it can cover both like the bad and the ugly and the terrible, as well as the optimistic and good, amazing things that we could see from, future extraterrestrial, meetings, or the technology that we're using, like AI or robotics or something like that. So I know people will probably think about like fantasy and stuff like that and say like, oh, well, like the possibilities are endless. You can
Ah!
come up with anything. Wait, what happened?
Oh,
What was
sorry.
the scream?
No, sorry. Like, there's like the sound comes up when like the pop-up thing comes up when so Raven uses like channel membership. Thank you, Burb, dear feathered friend. He
Wow,
says
feathered
Space
friend.
Boy. Yes, the Raven, my
Hi,
friend.
Raven. I love you, Raven. But yeah, generally, I mean that's the gist.
Very nice, very nice. So I'm curious. So why did you decide to focus on fiction and fictional stories rather than true stories on your channel?
Well, one, it's because there's not a whole lot of true sci-fi horror kind of stories or anything like that. Like again, it's kind of like the genre that I selected kind of lends itself more to the fiction and or near future discussion of things. The second thing is there is when I was listening to narrators before like I became a narrator, I would hear all those sort of stories, the true stories and all of that. And I was always looking for kind of these more sciencey stories that I do, and I really had a hard time finding them, whether, like in the big channels, huge archive of stories, I'd find like only one every like 40 stories or something like that.
Mm.
So I identified that as sort of like a missed opportunity of a really great subgenre to focus on in the horror community.
Nice. Sorry, like my mod was messaging me.
No worries.
Dun, dun. So, do you write your own stories? If so, do you have any favorites that you would, like to share or tell us about?
Yeah, so since the beginning of this year, um, most of the stories have either been self-written or directed by me and my writer that I work with, Jordan Long. Brings to life the ideas or the outline and the characters that I create. And shout out to her because she's amazing, and I couldn't produce the content I wanted to without her ability to bring these stories to life. I would say going forward, it's probably going to be like a 80% either written by me or, an original story directed by me, and the remaining percentage being, user submitted stories. There's a couple of authors that I work with that have, given me have been kind enough to allow me to kind of go through their catalog and share their work, either as it exists today or as they release stories. And then, of course, authors that I reach out to on like Reddit or stuff like that when I find decent stories. in terms of stories that I would encourage people to listen to, a favorite of mine, again, technically not written by me, but was directed by me. It was written by Jordan. Is called Until I Am Exhausted and Destroyed. Came out, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago or something like that. Very good story. It's more psychological than it is like monsters or anything like that. I'm sorry, are you guys hearing the fireworks shows that my neighbor is doing right now?
I can't hear a thing. Chat,
Okay,
can
good.
you hear anything?
It's the July 2nd, but Americans will know that the whole like week before and after, everyone's just shooting fireworks off indiscriminately, and my neighbors are doing that right now. But yeah, Until I Am Exhausted and Destroyed, please check that one out. I don't think it got as much love as I think it deserves.
Would you like to drop me a link?
Yeah, let me do that.
Thank you. That way I can post it in the old chat.
I can put it straight in the chat if that's fine.
It might eat it though.
Oh, right, because YouTube.
Raven.
Okay. Oh, hey, Audio. How are you doing? Yeah, Audio is one of those super amazing authors that I mentioned who's been kind enough to let me share their stories on my channel. So I'm very appreciative of that.
What was that?
What was what?
It sounded like a wee cough or something in the background.
It's the fireworks.
Blame the fireworks for everything.
No, I mean, what's going on? Unfortunately.
Okay. I'm just gonna cross them off. Ooh, so here's a channel related question. So you're being put on the spot. So in hindsight, what if you could start your channel all over again? What would you do differently?
Started with an AI voice, so I could just use an AI voice thing and never have to talk, and people wouldn't know what my real voice would sound like.
No,
that's
bad.
A joke. That's a joke. That's a joke.
I just meant be like, get off right now. Why?
What would I do differently? I mean, what I would do differently is something that I need to do now as well, which is just really be consistent in setting a schedule, and like setting aside specific blocks of times that I can dedicate to recording or managing the channel. It's not like I don't want to. It is, my life gets in the way of it, but I wish, I think if I knew where this could have possibly go back then, I would have certainly made it more of a priority in terms of like the ladder of things that I do or was doing at the time. I do think in a way I've, hampered some of the content that I could have put out because of a lack of giving it the right attention it's needed. So I think, I'd like to do that. Have done that differently.
Raven's being cheeky today. Like, I like to believe I'm one of the reasons why Magnets was successful, because he was tiny when I found him, and I talked him up super hard. Then he exploded.
First of all, Raven, I don't think you found me. I'm pretty sure I found you, and I think maybe the first to message you. I don't think you messaged me first.
You're gonna have to go through.
I think that fact correlates well. So if you want to be successful, hop in Raven's DMs and chat with him a little bit.
Raven is quite the clever dude. Also, his scheduling is absolutely amazing. I've seen it and I'm just like, well, this is so organized. I am in awe of being able to keep a schedule because I can't do it.
Yeah, if I could take one ability from any narrator, even the biggest ones, it would be Raven's consistency and ability to keep to a schedule.
Same. So Richard asks, what made you decide to get into space horror narration?
Yeah, I think, and I don't know if Richard was here in the beginning, but essentially what I've said before kind of rings true here in that, you know, I've always had a love for space and technology and science and stuff like that. And then I also love horror. So I think the marriage of the two is just kind of a perfect love story for me. And of course I grew up watching, you know, I think the first like quote unquote horror movie I watched was Aliens, the original Aliens. And I remember I snuck out of my bedroom and I was hiding behind the couch while my mom and dad were watching it. And then they found out that I was hiding there, and my mom was like mad. She's like, you know, go to bed, blah, blah, blah. And apparently all I said was, I know it's fake, Mom. I know it's fake. And then I just walked away. So I guess even back then I wasn't really scared of it, but more interested in it. But yeah,
Nice.
I've always loved the genre.
I just imagine this little tiny, like, this skeleton spacesuit being like, Mom, I can do what I want.
I was definitely a little skeleton in a spacesuit when I was a child. For
of
sure.
course. Hello, September, my favorite dragon. Welcome to the stream. So, let's see. Raven says, I listened to your Another Earth video and it was so good.
Yeah, Another Earth is another one of those stories. I really like not just the story, but how I did it, I guess. You know, with like the music and just the tone of the story. It's also another story that I don't think has gotten quite the attention that I think it deserves as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I remember, I think there was like some sort of live stream or something that Raven had done shortly after that story, and I was on that, and I remember he gave it a shout out, and I was like over the moon that he would shout me out like that. And yeah, so thank you, Raven. But yeah, that is one of my favorite stories. Do you want a link, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I'm just like waiting. It's like, send me the link. Send me the link. How dare you not know what I want by me thinking about it and not asking out loud?
Right. Oh, this has got my old like intro too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is a classic. This is a Magnetar classic.
Oh my. So Joshua, I just imagine you were doing this interview while your house is being attacked right now. Your spaceship is flying and you're under attack, just like just all relaxed.
Explosions. Yeah, I mean, I trust my crew to handle their shit. So, you know, I hired them for a reason. They can take care of anything.
Joshua says, what do you think about real life AI and robotics just randomly making strides in real life mag?
I love it, honestly. I know there's like sort of this section of people that are like, I guess there's different camps. There's the people who are like, you know, very scientific and like really love where we're going because they can imagine the amazing good that could come out of it, whether it's with medicine or, you know, just supporting social issues or stuff like that, kind of freeing us from the chains of working 8-hour days and blah, blah, blah. Then there's the people who are scared of it because it could take our jobs, it could become Skynet and murder us all. And then there's that little group of annoying ass people that are constantly posting about how you're going to become a millionaire with AI, and that's fucking annoying. Like the hustler culture. But I fall in the more optimistic camp. Generally, I'm not an optimist about like people things. But somehow I'm pretty optimistic about AI, even though I think there is a significant chance that, you know, it will be leveraged and controlled by the few and not the many as it should be. I think a technology like that, though, would be hard to not democratize in a way, how it needs to be. So generally, I am excited and eagerly watching where things go with AI development. And of course, I would just encourage ethical development of AI.
Makes sense. Oh, that was a good question, Joshua. I was going to ask one of that question. I'm going to just write that one off too. But let's see. But keep the questions coming, guys. Let's keep this interrogation rolling.
Yeah, go for it.
Hello, Lone Wolf, my favorite pup. Welcome, welcome. Yes, Laura, I'm beating you to posting all the links. Oh no, AI robot waifus. Oh no. And Lone Wolf says, there's gonna be a robot uprising. I know it. So, what was your first challenge when it came to content creation? Or challenges in general, really?
Really, it was being confident enough to post stuff, and that's something I still struggle with now. I really do not like my voice. And oftentimes, like when I do post my stories and like do the live streams, for example, when I'm in the chat, or like the live premieres, when I'm in the chat talking to people, I have the video muted, because if I hear my voice or like I hear the recording, I will be just so, not just the fact that I don't like my voice, but I'll hear every little like mistake or like click or something like that, and it'll just stress me out, and I won't be able to like focus talking to the amazing people in the chat. So yeah, the hardest part for me is like the confidence to actually post the things when I first started, and to feel like it was worth posting. Again, my goal was to share stories that aren't really told too much, or I think deserve more attention. So I had to reconcile that with my thoughts of like, who gives a crap about me recording this stuff? And then more so nowadays with like struggling with understanding I'm not going to be able to make the perfect recording. Once in a blue moon, one happens that I'm so tremendously proud of, and I think it's nearly perfect, but I need to tell myself that's not something that's going to always happen. And sometimes it's hard for me to accept that.
Nice, that was a good answer.
Thank you. I practiced in the bathroom mirror for a little while.
You're like, must get all the questions right. Must get them all right. Okay. I'm doing good, Lone Wolf. Also, how is everyone? I am such a terrible host. I'm like, everyone's fine. Let's just begin. Oh yeah, how are you, Max? I didn't ask. I'm a terrible person.
Actually, I'm very horrible. I've been in tears this whole time. I'm severely depressed now.
It's like, she dragged me on. I woke you up during your nap and just smacked you. Went, wake up, we're streaming. We need to do a sound check.
Yeah, I was in a comfortable nap, and she just started yelling over me.
Oh,
no, I'm doing well. I'm happy to be here.
I just imagine me holding your laser gun thing at your back. Say the line, Max. Say the line. Raven says, I think people look at modern AI as being more than it is. Like ChatGPT is awesome, but it's not like some super scary artificial intelligence. It's just an LLM. It's designed to read patterns, not think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think a lot of people are, and it's not, their fault. It is a dense subject, and it's hard to understand what things are, especially when the media and, again, like hustle culture are sort of overhyping what all the tools are and the technology is. But yeah, it's not a general intelligence AI. It essentially just scrapes the web and learns from us and kind of like replicates and tries to predict what we would do next in a way. It's not thinking for itself, and it's not, doing things on its own. So I think we still have some time before that happens. I could in no way predict if it's going to be in 10 years or 50 years, but it is going to come. We're just not there yet.
Dun, dun, dun. I don't know how I feel about those days.
And again, I'm optimistic, so I hope it represents. I'm not going to get political on your stream, so I will. I
Thank
will
you.
stop for a moment.
Well, I mean, we can talk politics in stories, but not like real world politics.
Okay, so how do I weave this into different story? No, I'll stop there. Again, I'm just optimistic that AI and robotics in general will lead to good things for people around the world.
Me too. Hello, beautiful nightmare. Welcome to the stream. It's good to see you. Hello, hello. Joshua has another question. Joshua is on the roll of questions today. Joshua asks, how did you two meet? You remember?
No, I don't remember.
Neither do I.
I mean, in a lot of ways, the horror Twitter community, or like a community of YouTube horror narrators, is like there's a lot of people, but also in a way it's like very small too, in the sense that like a lot of people know a lot of people, and a lot of us really support each other. And you know, when someone comes in, it's really easy for them to just suddenly have this, you know, network of people to talk to and to collaborate with and to feel supported by. So I'm sure when I like met Raven and started joining that community, you were just, you know, of course, a big part of it, and you were just there, and I probably saw you on a live stream or something. And yeah.
Because I'm trying to like remember when exactly I met you, and I can't remember when.
Yeah, neither can I.
I'm gonna go back through my DMs and be like, when did this happen?
I would be interested to hear that. So
I don't know, like
whatever you find, unless it's super cringe, in which case don't share it with me.
Yeah, please don't. Wait, I'm on Twitter now. We shared memes last year. Let's see.
Classic.
Okay, let's see. Can you hear my little scroll wheel going?
No, I cannot.
Okay, because I can. Let's see. I shamelessly plugged my channel art. Like, look at all this art. Oh no! It's like, look at it.
Little did we know it would be cringe for you and not me.
Yep. My dark secrets being revealed. I didn't know we talked this much on Twitter.
And Twitter DMs or like Twitter like ats?
Like Twitter DMs. I'm still. You sent me a picture of your avatar, and then you were like, I don't know what was happening.
Was it like a DM that came from like a public conversation?
I don't know. Like, you just sent me your avatar at first. I'm like, I don't know what brought this on.
That's what I do when I meet any new woman. I just send them a picture of my avatar, and that's like my pickup line almost.
I see.
Yeah.
So Joshua's
what?
Pardon?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Okay. Joshua says, your voice is perfect for cosmic horror. It's haunting in a good way.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
What do you mean, Lone Wolf? How did I drag you on my stream? Damn, Joshua is on a roll. Joshua asks, if you could be stuck in any fantasy world for a year, which universe would you be in?
Now, you say fantasy, do you mean like, are you just saying like in general, just like any kind of not real world, or are you specifying fantasy as a genre? I'm going to assume you just mean any not real world.
Yeah.
So for me, that's easy. It would be Mass Effect, the Mass Effect universe. I don't know if you've ever played the games or
I haven't played.
Experienced any of the extended lore. It is and quickly became my favorite sci-fi, like space universe, over Star Wars, over Star Trek, over any other Battlestar Galactica, everything else. So yeah, it would be Mass Effect. Ideally, pre or post Reaper invasion, for those of you who played Mass Effect, so that I don't have to deal with possibly turning into a zombie. But yeah. Yeah, there you go, lady. You could do a Mass Effect gaming stream and play through the trilogy.
I mean, I suppose I could. I've been meaning to, stream, let's see, me playing Phasmophobia. They want me to play Dark Souls for some reason.
I saw that in Elden Ring.
Yes, I'm like, why? What have I done to you guys
lady,
to make this happen?
They've last year they released the like a remastered version of the trilogy, like the Legendary Edition is what they called it. And from what I also see, if you get it on PC, there's amazing mods that just really step up how amazing the trilogy is.
Yeah, God.
I would totally co-stream with you in terms of like backseat game for you.
That does sound like a lot of fun, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, Rocky! Hello, Rocky. Rocky says, here's to almost 3K, my friend. Thank you, thank you. I'm getting close to my 3K. Thank you, I appreciate that.
These fireworks are getting a little more aggressive.
They're trying to get into your ship, that's why it's fine.
Yeah, the blast shields might be taking some damage.
Time for you to get an upgrade on your ship. I told you before you come on the stream, get an upgrade on your ship. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm the way I am. Anyway, Laura asks, the typical question Laura always asks every single guest, Imperials or Stormcloaks?
Imperials.
Nice.
Stormcloaks are, they're just a bunch of bigoted brats. The way they treat the Argonians and the way they treat the Dark Elves is just terrible.
Plus, their whole war was engineered by the Thalmor to weaken the Empire.
Right.
Yep.
And Ulfric was just a little baby back bitch and used a shout in a fight.
We should have a Skyrim political debates stream. It's fine because it's not real.
Right, exactly. With that being said, I did assassinate the Emperor, so.
Oh yeah, me too. It's like, look,
only so I can become the Emperor, right? Like that was the hope.
No, I didn't do it for that. It was more just like, well, I mean, he kind of let this happen, so like he needs to die.
Right. If you don't have the ability to protect your own life as the Emperor, then I mean, do you really deserve to be Emperor?
I mean, yeah, exactly. It's more just like, look, you let this war happen. Like, I mean, fair enough, it was engineered, but like, just.
Right.
I'm pretty sure, I wasn't sure like if I had Shadowmere by that point or not with the Dark Brotherhood quest line. But I will do all sorts of things for pretty ponies, okay? That sounds really terrible. I just like, oh. Anyway.
So at first I thought they were asking about Imperials or Rebels in terms of Star Wars. That is also an interesting debate I'm down having. And I am too on the side of the Galactic Empire instead of the rebel scum, so.
I don't know why I expected you to zoom in so much then. I was just like, whoa.
Hopefully it came out clear enough.
It did. No, it sounded kind of muffled, but like in that good way where it's just like, yes, it added to the effect. Great, it's not a glitch, it's an effect. No, hashtag finish Fallout 3. I will finish it someday.
They need to hurry up and remake that.
They do. They really do.
Like, Bethesda's just sitting on money with 3 in New Vegas. Just doing an upgrade of that. I know people are tired of, like, remakes or what have you, but some games deserve to be remade with modern technology. And Fallout 3 is one of those.
Yeah, I think like I would love to see them adding in all the things that they wish that they could have added in. but they just couldn't because like just the restraints, you know, with
Right,
time
exactly.
and just everything else. I think that'd be so cool.
Yeah, and I think having a totally open DC, because if I remember correctly, a lot of like the actual city was, all the streets were blocked, so you had to like go through like loading screens to get to different parts of the city or go through the sewers or whatever. But I think having it more like Fallout 4, where the city's really kind of just unblocked for the most part, and you can just easily walk from district to district, would be really amazing to experience.
That would be.
And Fallout 3 came out in that era of gaming where everything had like a brown gray filter on it for some reason. So I
Yeah.
would love to see it not look like that.
I think it'd be cool if it had a button where you can have it like more like the old school Fallout 3 style, and then like also like you could
Yeah.
alternate between that and the Fallout 4 style. I think that'd be really cool.
It's basically that's what Halo Anniversary and Halo 2 Anniversary did. Like both the remastered version and the original version kind of run side by side, and you can press a button and switch between like the old graphics and like the new graphics like seamlessly. And it was such a great decision to do that. Um, and I would love to see that in more remasters like that. That'd be cool.
I would love for them to remaster New Vegas as well.
Hmm. For
Oh, that'd
sure.
be so. So Joshua asks, both of us, given the chance, Mag and Spooky, would you ever download your mind into a supercomputer? I'll let you answer first.
Oh, I certainly would download my mind into something to sort of quote unquote live on past my meat sack dying. um, I would prefer it to be I was uploaded into like an individual, as an individual intelligence, or so I could be uploaded into like a robot body or something like that, more so than being uploaded into like here's where all of the human race is uploaded to together. Um, I mean, I guess maybe that's what would happen if we created like a perfect virtual world and we all uploaded into that world, so to speak.
That
Um, Generally, yes, I would do it.
that sounds like hell for me. Like I'd be around too many people. I'd be like, no.
Well, I would assume, yeah, yeah. I would
Yeah.
assume if you're uploaded, you could ideally create your perfect world in a way.
I mean that's true, but like it gives me Soma vibes for some reason, and I'm just like I'm still traumatized. I watched a friend play the game, and he made me make do all the difficult decisions. So I'm like,
Mhm.
like I don't like deciding harmless things. Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah, Soma is a fantastic game
It really is.
that I've only experienced in watching playthroughs and like story breakdowns and stuff like that. I've never actually played it myself, but somehow it is still one of my favorite games.
It's it's a game I enjoy watching someone else play it, but I have the game, but I'm never gonna play it.
Yeah.
So I've made my peace with that. What are you talking about, Rocky Imperialist Dog? How dare you?
How
How dare
dare
you?
you?
Lone Wolf. Did you honor his request? Whose request? Laura, what do you mean I'm behind again? My natural state of being. No, I support Talos. I just, you know, which was the empire he created. Anyway, must not get into Skyrim rant. And I gotta go down the rabbit hole into my rant. I'm like, oh yeah, Max, you're still here. I'm sorry. No, I'm not that bad. Um, so, Horror on the Rock says, I mean, Black Flag is supposedly being remade, and if done well, could even be better than the original.
I assume he means, or they mean Assassin's Creed Black Flag,
I think
which
so, yes.
I 100%ed basically all the Assassin's Creeds up to 3. Didn't like 3, never played 4, which I regret because I've heard 4 is really good. And then unfortunately, the next Assassin's Creed I played after that was Odyssey. And I despise the new direction they took Assassin's. Well, basically every Ubisoft game became the same with like tiered loot and just this disgusting bloated open world RPG, and I did not enjoy it. I'm happy to hear the Assassin's Creed series seems to be trying to go back to what it was during the original like Ezio and Altair era, in which case I might give it a chance again. Um, or if there is a remaster of Black Flag, I might give that a playthrough as well.
Nice. Um, so I'm not sure. Hang on, should I go? Hang on, I'll do one of my questions and I'll go to the chat's questions. So, what plans do you have for your channel?
Right now, the kind of like biggest, I guess, plan is to continue this Eclipse Initiative slash Eclipse Compendium storyline. One of my favorite stories that I ever covered, and just generally one of my favorite stories, is the Breach series by Amelia C. Langlos. And it very much was inspiration for this series, the Eclipse series that I've created. I foresee it continuing for some time. I'm already thinking through, kind of like the long story threads for it and implications for the characters and the Umbral Group, which is like the big sort of mega corporation that's kind of got its hands in everything. And eventually I see that series turning into like an eventual, like, not novel, but a kind of more first person telling of a specific story and how possibly maybe the Umbral Group faces some karma in a way, but that's still some time away. But yeah, that's kind of the biggest plan right now, is working on that project.
Nice. So, like, say in like 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years, where do you see your channel? Or where would you like it to be?
That's a good question. I understand how lucky I am to be where I'm at now with, the subscriber count that I have and all that. And I've never really like expected anything from this when I started it. I never thought like, oh, one day I hope this pays my bills or something like that, or I hope I have X amount of subscribers. But I have found that I do really enjoy it, and when I don't have the opportunity to do it, or there's weeks where I've just not been able to, I miss it. I would love to be in a position where I could be financially independent because of the stories that I write and that I have others write and the stories that I get to share. I think that would be amazing. If I don't get to that point, it's not like I'm going to stop doing this, and it's not like I'd be disappointed. I just think it'd be really cool to do for a little while, as sort of like a full-time thing, and see what kind of awesome things I could produce.
That would be cool. I know there was a question in the chat, and I'm trying not to miss anyone's question. So, Richard asks, what advice would you give a new person planning on getting into narration?
That recording that you're sitting on that you're too scared to post or think sounds bad, just post it anyway. You're not going to get better, and you're not going to get input or possibly criticisms or compliments if you don't post anything. I know it's so hard. It was hard for me to have the confidence to do it and to think it's worth doing. But do it. Do a couple. See how it feels. If you find joy in it, continue doing it.
Nice. I like that answer. I do think people get like a bit too into the whole like just they expect perfection or too close to it when they just start. Like Just post it. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm not saying that because my first video was bad. By the way, I've hidden it, Laura, before you get to it. I've hidden that video. It doesn't exist anymore. Let's see. What was the Emperor's last request, Laura? I don't remember it. You remember, Mags?
No, I don't remember. It's been so. I actually started playing the special edition or whatever, like the most recent edition that came out. I did pick that up. I haven't finished it yet, but I haven't played Skyrim since like 2014 or 2013. So.
Dakota says Morrowind politics are more interesting. Redoran, Sylvani, or no, it's Halu? I don't know. I didn't play Morrowind.
Yeah, Skyrim was my first Elder Scrolls as well.
Okay, so this question's for you as well. So Rocky asks, okay, Skyrim related question: Dawnguard, vampire or werewolves? Which one of those did you pick?
Well, to get all of the achievements, I had to do all three. Okay, so. But now, if I had to select one, it'd probably be the werewolves. I think I like vampires more, but if we're talking just specifically those three factions, how they're presented in Skyrim, I did not like Harkin as a character, and his plan was dumb and made no sense. If I could, if in a world he didn't exist, then I might have chosen them. But no, everyone in the companions is pretty chill. Farkas is a cool guy, You just can bro out with each other, and then you can turn into a big badass wolf. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, like I didn't like Harkin either. Mike, he's like, okay, you want to block out the sun, okay?
Yeah,
I mean,
right, and then.
It's like that's really dumb.
The entire ecosystem dies, and then
like then your food dies. Then what are you gonna do? He's dumb. He's like a brick. But I went with. I'm pretty sure I went with the Dawnguard, surprisingly. But I was part of the werewolf because I was part of the companion. So.
Right.
Yeah. Joshua, you are definitely on a roll with these questions. I'm impressed. So, Joshua asks, what are the chances, Mr. Mag, that we live inside a simulation? If you found out if you found out it was true, how would you react? Would you change anything in your day-to-day?
I think the more that I see technology progressing, even though we're pretty far away from having the capability ourselves to create a simulation like that, I think it is highly unlikely that we do not live in a simulation. That is to say, I think we are almost certainly simulated. Does that change how I live my life? No, because this is our reality, regardless if it's not someone else's reality. And simulated or not, we have feelings and emotions, even if they possibly might just be ones and zeros.
That sounds like a good story.
Yeah.
Raven says, they ruined Far Cry for me. I'm so behind on Far Cry. I think I played
Far Cry is
2.
Ubisoft as well, right? Yeah. They also had gold for Far Cry 5. Like, they could have told a really amazing story and it fell flat. But yeah, Ubisoft, all of their games have sort of become the same game with a different skin. There's tiered loot, there's some sort of RPG element, there's microtransactions, there's create your own character, and it's a very impersonal, story. And The Division, so it's The Division, Ghost Recon, Far Cry, the RPG Assassin's Creeds, even what's the sword game I really liked? For Honor was nearly perfect how it was, and then they completely overhauled the game and they added a stupid, purple, blue, gold loot system, just like all their other games, and ruined it for me. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Ubisoft. That being said, I did try the X Defiant beta, and that was very fun. So fingers crossed for that.
Nice.
Sorry for the little rant there.
No, it's all good, rant. Look, it's fine. Look, I go on tangents. We all go on tangents. It's fine. It's all good. I'm pretty sure the last Far Cry one I played was when it was in Africa, I think. I think that's Far Cry 2, maybe 3.
You missed out then. Then 3 was fantastic. 3 was like more in like a jungle. I don't remember exactly the location, but that's like the quintessential Far Cry.
Like, it's one of those things where I have these games, but I haven't started to play them yet because, you know, I've got other games I still need to finish.
Yeah, and then you keep buying new games,
yes.
and then it's just
This is the endless cycle, and so it's like, and when someone else buys your game, they're like, "Have you played it yet?" I'm like, "No, stop pressuring me. I'm trying to finish everything." Let's see. Richard asks, "Do you believe that we have ancestors' image in our genetic genes?" And our
I'm not quite sure what you mean by that question. I'm sorry. If you could, I would love to answer it. If you could maybe submit another comment with more of an explanation or a breakdown, then yeah, we could get to that.
So there's some discussion about Far Cry in the chat. Which one was the best?
Yeah.
Oh, so Brandon asks, is there going to be a continuation of the Americans weren't the first to make it to the Americans weren't the first to make it to the moon universe. Magnetar is such a talented writer.
Yeah, so the first thing that I've changed about that series is the horrible title. That was the first story I ever wrote, and it's very much like a quote-unquote creepypasta title where it's just like a long, terrible sentence. So Brandon, hey, it's nice to see you. And for those that don't know, and Lady, that was the first story I ever started self-writing. I've released the first part, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, and very slowly released additional parts after that, and still haven't finished it. I say hadn't finished it yet. As of, I think, the end of May, I finished the final part, I guess, so to speak. I finished the last, I don't remember how much it ended up being, 15, 20,000 words or whatever. So it is coming. I'm so sorry for the wait. It's coming, but the reason it's going to take a little bit longer, even though it is written, is because I have gone through the process of it being my first story and having so long. I sort of want to make it worth the wait in a way. So I've been slowly hiring like editors and people to work on music and, like professional voice actors with like amazing equipment and stuff like that fit the exact voices that I have in mind for the characters. So like finding people with authentic German accents that speak the German language, people who can speak Russian and have authentic Russian languages and stuff like that. So I'm trying to make it worth the wait. It is a long process to have all of those pieces come together, and it is a very expensive process. And unfortunately, I do not have a time estimate for you. I would say I can't give you an update in that the only things I'm waiting for really are 2 of the male voice actors to send in their lines, which ideally will happen by mid-July. And then it's, the editing process, which I honestly don't know how long that might take.
Nice. I hope that answered your question, Brandon.
I hope so too. And thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it.
I'm way behind on the chat again. I'm sorry, everyone. Hello, Ash Souls. Welcome to the stream. Let's see. Oh yes, Serana is gorgeous. I love Serana as a character.
What? Why did they not make her romanceable? Like, what?
I know.
They had to have known we would love her, and they were just like, nah, let's keep that from them.
Yeah. I know Ash Souls, I'm behind on the chat. Oh. Gomez, the Lizard Queen, hello. It's good to see you. Oh no, Vida the VB long neck, get that up here. You're obsessed with VBs, god damn it, Vida. Oh, goodness.
Oh, Vidith is here?
Yep, Vidith is here.
Why are you scared to 1v1 me in Rust, bro? What's that about?
Oh. Being called out.
Yeah, quick scopes only.
Oh, okay, I get you. I'm sorry if I'm just sort of skipping things. I'm trying to catch up, guys. But if you have a question, please tag me so I can see it easy. Oh my god, the chat just zoomed up. I'm lost. I don't know where I am anymore. Send help. So Curtis asks, any plans for a new project after Eclipse is done?
Ideally, there will be a project existing in tandem with Eclipse. I have some ideas. But again, I'm trying to kind of close the loop on some of these other stories. Yeah, there's a lot of stories in my head, and I have this issue of starting more when I haven't finished others. So the Moon story is one of those. The Dust and Echoes series is another that needs to finish, and I have like a 20,000-ish so word finale I need to finish. But yeah, I do want to, and I am currently like conceptualizing what another series might look like. And of course, there are individual stories that aren't like part of a series that I have on my list that I want to create as well.
Nice. Oh yeah, mate. Man, chat is here. Don't mind me. You just went really quiet. Oh my god, go!
Not quite sure how to respond. Yeah, but,
You're just like this awkward silence, like backing away from the microphone.
No, to be quite honest, I got a Discord notification, so I was shamelessly checking that.
How dare we are in the middle of a serious interrogation and you're no, it's alright. It would be funny if it was me sending you one too. Anyway, but we are getting close to the 1 hour mark, so we'll be taking a break, mainly because I need to crack my back. But yeah, so we'll do that just now. So everyone I haven't said hello to yet, I'll get to you in a minute, but I'm behind on the chat. But anyway, we're going to our break. Be right back. And we are back. Wait, what's this? Oh, thank you so much, Richard. You just sent it right before the break, so I didn't hear it. But thank you so much. You can't see it, but I'm doing little love hearts with my fingers at the screen. Thank you so much.
It's true. It's true. I'm watching.
Oh my God. Yes, he's watching, like he's in his little spaceship right outside my window.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why he doesn't want to come in that.
I'm sorry about that.
It's all good.
It's my puppy in the background, guys. Say hello to Ike.
Hello, Ike. We love you, Ike. Okay, so Joshua's coming with more questions. So Joshua asks, do you think there is some hidden tech being kept secret by organizations? If so, how advanced do you think it is?
Absolutely, and likely very advanced. I think they're probably items, especially from maybe in the government sector as well, that are maybe even decades above what we've seen or has been released to us. And in terms of like tech companies or like the elite, quote unquote, yeah, there's certainly got to be things that they're keeping from us. So,
definitely.
yeah.
Hello, Gamma. Yes, way behind. I know. I know. Yes, the music is pretty awesome, Vidith. It is by Tanner Stokes. Sorry if it just seemed like I'm just zooming past. Everyone's just saying hello. Very nice. Very nice. Wow, how far behind was I? Damn.
Pretty far behind.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I thought you were supposed to be a professional, but...
I know, I slip. Yeah, mate. Not Chatter. Papa Scared. My Aussie mate with a disturbingly British accent. Sorry, some typing ASMR. Oh, Chatter's swiping on his dating apps. I see. I'm trying to catch up. What do you mean, bye, Papa? Alright, well, bye, Papa. Damn. Gosh. No, that's alright.
Alright, I just had pepperoni pizza brought to me, so I might take a bite every now and then.
Did you bring any for the rest of us?
There's 3 left, so how many people?
Well, I'm definitely
people?
getting one. So.
Okay.
So the chat can share a piece.
If they can share one piece, okay. So I'll cut this piece into 16 pieces and get you guys little what are they called? You know those little swords that they put in like martinis or something, some alcoholic beverage with like olive on it? Yeah, we'll get a bunch of those little swords.
Nice. Hey, Innocence Unknown, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. That was quite a long break, lady. Did you break your back? Or someone else's too? Hashtag demon. No, I mean, I had to crack my back because I've been sitting down most of the morning, so.
And I had to step away from the computer, so a lot of that was my fault. Don't blame her.
See, look, it's not all me. It's not all me. Vidith is saying, puppy, ah! Can you show us the puppy?
Yeah, definitely. I can post it in a picture in your server. Shout out to Lady Spookaria's server. Go join her Discord server.
Yes.
And you can see my puppy if you're not already in there.
Oh, nice. I see what you did there. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
you can send me my sponsorship check in the mail.
All right. I'll do that.
What do you have a pets channel?
Yeah. Well, there's also a puppies one and a pets one, and one for kitties as well because I do what I want.
Well, here's a video of showing how he plays with one toy in his mouth while also kicking a ball around. And let's find some more pics.
Nice.
There's a nice blurry one. Yeah, go check out a pup.
Hello, Razor Moon. Welcome to the stream. It's good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Horror on the Rocks asks, Magnetar, how does one provide lines for these wonderful stories of yours? Asking for a friend.
Yeah, every now and then I do like an open call in a way. A lot of the times when I'm writing a story, I already have I write it with like a voice in mind. So oftentimes if I do kind of look for a voice in the community, it's people that I've had the time to like listen to, like Lady Vengeance or different people like that. So like the story's almost written with their voices in mind. That being said, there are some general stories that I do either read from other people or that I do end up writing where I need like a short list of people that I can just like ping and be like, hey, are you available to do this or that? Knowing that you are interested, I can add you to that list. And if something comes up, I would be happy to reach out.
Nice. Bit of the way you insulted and appalled. What did I do now? ASMR typing, only the best. Yes, innocence. No mukbang.
Jesus.
Oh no. Yes, my powers. Asking for puppy pictures and getting them. Dun dun. Nice. Alright, so let's see. Alright, so tell us about your avatar. Now I've caught up on the chat.
Yeah, it's the selfie that I took, a few years ago when I was just kind of floating in space. And I thought my bleached bones looked pretty cute.
Mm-hmm, of course.
Yeah. No, but staying with the space theme was a must. And I've always had liked the visual of sort of like an abandoned, I guess just an isolated or lonely like astronaut drifting in space or somewhere found on like a derelict ship, and they're just like a skeleton inside of a suit, like their visor's broken and what have you. I always just thought that was like a cool, haunting image. Yeah, so that's really what it was. And then I don't remember, like in some of my early art by Man TV, who I know has done a lot of our avatars, has like these blue, ethereal, almost like space rays. That idea came from, there's a really old animated movie I actually rewatched recently called Titan AE, the AE standing for After Earth. And there's a segment or a scene in that movie, which the animation still holds up. There's a segment in that movie where they're flying through like a nebula or something. I don't know. It's very scientifically inaccurate, but it is a beautiful scene. And there's like these space, I think they called them angels or something. They're not angels. They look like almost whales or some sort of creature with wings or something like that. And they kind of like flew side by side with the ship and were just like very beautiful. And that's sort of like where that idea came from, of having like this very much looking like some sort of creature that you could see swimming in the ocean or something like that, but it's in space. And I think Man TV just made it that sort of blue, kind of cool look to emulate the look of some of these images of like a Magnetar that I shared with him that we were going to put in the background. Artistic rendering of a Magnetar, of course.
Nice.
Yeah.
The tail. Like, have you ever like thought of making a story for it, or is it just?
Yes.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, I had that idea last year. Sort of forgot about it, and I've just not really revisited it. Excuse me. Maybe I should revisit that idea. But yes, it was an idea early on to give me some lore.
Ooh, nice. I approve. All the lore.
Right.
So Joshua says, Mag and Spooky, if Elon ever gets up and running civilization on Mars working, would you travel there?
Yes. Not necessarily because it's Elon, but just because I think I crave that idea of being like a pioneer in a way. And I know there's that overused quote that's like born too late to explore the world, born too early to explore space type situation. I don't know if I'd want to be like the first 3 people there that are gonna like spend like 2 years alone. But I'd certainly be happy being, one of the first like couple thousand.
I don't know. I think I would. I don't know if I'd. Oh no, actually, look, so like I'm scared of heights, but like in an airplane, I'm fine. But like, I don't know. I think I'd be okay. It'll be
When you're in
fine.
space, there is no height.
Everything's fine. So just don't worry about it. It's fine. No, it'll be all right. I think I'd want the opportunity because like, say if you get that offer, that's not an offer that's going to come up all the time. That's like a once in a lifetime. So.
I guess I want to specify that I would be also okay with it being a one-way trip. Like having never being able to return to Earth, I would still take it.
Okay, so is Mars terraformed at this point, or are you like just?
Even if it's not terraformed, I would still do it.
Like I'd be like, okay, so who's in charge of the base? Or if it's Elon?
Ideally, me.
You're just like, you just go and take over. It's like, mine now. Bye.
Right. What are you gonna do? Arrest me? Where are the laws? Where's the Mars Constitution?
I mean that's a good point, but
I mean, I say that, but ideally that would have already been written.
I'm gonna hope they've been written. It's not like
that's true.
If you annoy us out the airlock, you go.
Right, exactly.
Hey, Derek's here. Hello, Derek Weber. I see you. Can't hang on to pop in and say hey. It's good seeing you, Derek. It's good seeing you. And yes, Bidith, Mag out here making moves. Yep. He sure
what was I
is.
making moves about?
I don't know. I can't remember. I'm way behind in the chat.
We're so far behind. Vidith, comment again so in 10 minutes we can see what I was making moves about.
It's not 10 minutes. Actually, it might be at this point. I feel attacked. No, it's alright. Oh wow, Joshua's on a roll with questions. I should call this Hangout with Magnetar where Joshua asks the majority of the questions. No, in all seriousness, Joshua, I'm just messing around. I really do appreciate you asking questions.
Yeah, I mean, they're great questions.
What kind of energy alternatives besides wind and electric do y'all see potential in? Nuclear, hydro, steam? The steam emphasis was his. Like, I'm not being sarcastic.
You were like, damn, lady must really find steam energy sexy.
Like, it's like, oh, I see the steam and I can't control myself.
Right, it's just...
Is it hot and steamy? I'm sorry. I'm just...
Alright, that's enough. Calm down.
I'm laughing at my own.
So, something you all might not know about me, I know some people do. Prior to January of this year, I worked the last 3 years in, like climate advocacy, climate work, and like renewable energy and stuff like that. So I very much have been in this space and thinking about these things for a few years. Yeah, solar, wind, geothermal. I could certainly see maybe some role steam could play in maybe like smaller, like household energy production or just something like that. I don't think it's viable for anything large scale like solar or wind. And I like the idea of utilizing nuclear, assuming it's at a point where we can do like clean fusion, as opposed to what we're doing now and producing the toxic waste and the potential to incredible destruction of the environment and people in and around the reactors.
I did a story based kind of around that called The Forgotten Tomb, which I recommend everyone watch after the stream. Shameless plug of one of my stories, but it touches on that a little bit, so
Nice.
no spoilers. It was a bit shameless of me, I know this.
No, it's your channel. You don't be ashamed for talking about yourself.
That's true. Alright, Lone Wolf, my favorite prop. Have a good sleep. Love
Good
back
night.
at ya. Be good. Okay,
Sleep well.
Indeed. I don't know why that sounded kind of ominous. Like, sleep well. Dun dun dun.
I always have pizza in my mouth.
I want pizza. How dare you? I should have brought. You know what? I'm salty because I don't have my blueberries, my blackberries, and my raspberries. So I'm just bitter. I'm not snacking, dude.
I'll try to remind you the next time we take a break.
No, I don't have any. I forgot to buy some, so I'm just like,
Rip.
yep. My great sadness. No, I'm kidding. It's all good. So Derek has a question. How often were you publishing when you saw your fastest growth?
I think I was just looking at this the other day. No, that was my other channel. Honestly, I don't think I was publishing any more often than I do now, which is hard to even say because I'm extremely inconsistent. Some days I will feel the motivation to like pump out 3 stories in like 3 days, and sometimes I can't even do 1 story in like 3 weeks. So I've been incredibly inconsistent. I know that there is a part that consistency plays in, being successful and kind of ramping up those views, but I also think the biggest thing at play for getting more subscriptions and views is luck, honestly. I can't say what I've done differently here at 30,000 subscribers than I have had at like 1,000 subscribers, other than some small updates to how I do recordings and stuff like that. I wish I knew what I was doing differently at the time, because I would scream it from the top of the world, but yeah, sorry, I don't really have an interesting answer for that.
It's all good. It's all good. So Brandon asks, I noticed there is a glaring lack of LGBT plus themed sci-fi creepypasta. Do you have plans to do more narrations from LGBT plus authors?
That's a really great question, because I just found out that one of the manager that I worked for at that climate firm, her partner writes specifically LGBTQ, like perspective stories, and she does some sci-fi stories as well. And I just found that out recently, so I haven't asked her yet, because this is like an in real life friend, and I still feel awkward about real people knowing that I narrate stories and hearing my voice. But I do plan to ask her, and I've read some of them, and they're pretty fantastic, and they are from varying perspective, not just like sexual orientation, but gender orientation and stuff like that as well, because there is a lack of that, and I think a lot of media.
That's very
so
true.
Yeah, I want to make sure though it's not like a tokenization type, like tokenizing the subject, which is why I think it's important it comes from a writer who has that lived experience.
I agree with that. I think there is becoming more and more now, though. It's gradual, but I think it is happening.
Yeah, for sure.
I saw this lol 10 minutes behind. Hey, you're right, but like, hey, Omar, welcome to the stream. It's good to see you. And Dark Little Voices. Hello, Dark. Doesn't surprise me. She runs on steam power. Hey. So Curtis is saying nuclear is best.
I'm interested. I feel like it's hard to have a in-depth conversation about that via one person in chat, one person talking. I would say that we can get more than enough energy that we will ever need from the sun alone. And with advances in battery technology, even just in the last few years, it's evident that we'll be able to store, terawatts of energy in the near future. And I think we could create a sustainable economy and a stable society sustained completely on, renewable resources like solar, wind, and geothermal. I don't remember the exact statistics, and I'm sorry, this might be super uninteresting for everybody else. But again, I did this as a job for a while. That it is in a surprisingly small amount of land, you could provide enough power just from the sun for everything we need right now. And I don't think people really understand that. So if you think about like parking lots, we just have these huge lots that are empty and disgusting to look at, and they're hot. Cover those with solar panels. It provides some protection to the cars. It provides some shade. It keeps our cities a little bit cooler, and it powers the very buildings that it's providing parking for. I think that specifically is a no-brainer. But I will stop there, or else I'll talk forever.
No, it's good. I'm enjoying the conversation, but so good. Let's see. Hey, Outrum, just dropping by to say hello and give a thumbs up. Hell yeah, Outrum. I don't know if you're still here because I'm a little behind, but it's fine. Let's see. Ash Souls asks, oh yeah, I have a question about the Discord server. If I just want to share my drawings, where can I share them? Or is there not a channel for that? There should be. It's in the Friendos section. So basically, if you're a creator, you can post things like your videos or when you go lives, but there's a section called Friendo Art. You can just post all the art that you make. But yeah.
I assume she was talking about your Discord server. Yeah?
I'm guessing so.
Yeah,
but also okay. Magnetar has his own Discord server now.
Yeah, I think mine's pretty self-explanatory, though. It just says art. I wasn't very creative with the category, so it's just like, yeah.
Yeah, like, sometimes I wish I could go back and, like, reorganize my entire server, because now, like, I'm, like, I see everyone else has, like, these organized things. I'm like, mine's looking a little rough now.
You're too far in now. There's no going back.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It's like, well, I don't want to delete, like, different channels because I don't want to lose all the posts on there. So, like, it's fine. Everything's fine. No, so Joshua's asking me a question. Spooky, what is your favorite season to experience? So I live in Australia, so my seasons are different. So we don't get snow here. At least where I live anyway. So we're currently in winter now, and the sun is shining through my window. But I like spring. I don't really have allergies, so it doesn't really affect me too much. But it's not super hot, because our summers are just way too hot. May I ask which one? Which one do you mean? Oh no, you were asking Laura. Okay. Madam Raven! Hello, Madam Raven. It's good to see you. Welcome, welcome.
Howdy.
Indeed. Ooh, nice. Innocence. Nice, nice. Oh, here's a good question for you, Mags. So Joshua asks, I swear Joshua's he's in charge of the interview. Interrogation.
We're on his show, guys.
Yeah! Joshua asks, Mag, have you ever eaten astronaut food?
Just like the touristy astronaut food that you can get at like a museum or gift shop or whatever. Nothing like legitimate. So it's just like the freeze-dried like ice cream sandwich or whatever the heck they got there.
Okay. Would you actually... So, if you had an offer to go to like one of the space stations or to the moon, would you take it? I imagine yes, because you said to Mars, but...
Yeah, take me as far as I can go, and I will do it.
Nice.
Frankly, if I don't make it to space before I die, I will die unhappy and miserable. No matter what else has happened in my life.
Oh, Madam Raven says, I want a solar-powered hobbit house. Oh, that's cute.
There's a really great Oh, God, I can't think of the name now. I'll tag you in it, madam, if I can remember it. But there's this really great community in New Mexico, maybe, that's like a sustainable neighborhood that's like built, like the houses are like half built into the ground because it helps regulate. I think like it's all recycled materials, so like a lot of the glass is just like bottles and glass that's been recycled, and like some of the foundation for the walls between the house and the dirt is like old tires or something like that. You know, it's you're not seeing the tires, it's separated by, you know, like a wall. But it's all like recycled stuff, it's all renewable energy. You have like water basins that come down and water the plants, and also is used in like your toilet, and then the stuff that you shower with, that water again gets recycled to water the plants and stuff like that. It's just a really awesome community. Can't remember the name.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, they were beautiful houses too. Like I know people often think like, oh, you gotta live in like a tiny, gross looking house if you want to live like that. But no, it was beautiful.
Nice. Oh my god, Joshua's on a roll. I know I keep saying, but it's just like, damn, Joshua, that's so cool. So Mag asks, Mag, is there a way to have an orbiting solar battery array that collects energy and sends it to Earth? I mean, why not just have a massive power source hovering in space that we could grab from?
Yeah, so I saw that question and I already started trying to look up what I had seen before. I didn't find exactly the project that I heard being talked about, but I found this other article from November of last year that was an interview with someone from the Space Energy Initiative, SEI. First off, sorry, what I was going to say is yes, there are multiple plans to do that. It is a viable thing to do. I don't know about the battery storage, but more so the projection or sending of that energy back down to Earth, whether it's by laser or in this case of the SEI, we're talking about converting radio waves into electricity. So they send signals down to some sort of satellite or some sort of antenna, and somehow that converts it to energy. I don't know. The shit is magic. I don't know how anybody ever invented these things. But yes, that is something, not just to provide energy on Earth, but energy in other places. It looks like the quote from this article says, a narrow strip around geostationary Earth orbit receives more than 100 times the amount of energy per year that all of humanity is forecast to use in 2050. So, again, we're talking about more energy than we could ever need from one single project. I'm going to try throwing that link in the chat in case anybody's interested in reading it.
You might need to send it to me.
Blocked.
You get it's like blocked.
I'm trying to cite my sources, guys.
You can send it to me, and I'll post it in. There you go. Copy link. There we go. Okay, so this is the link that Mags is talking about. Let's see. Innocence, only a true demon would prefer fall and winter. Hey! Demon! I'm a demon, damn it. Let's see. So how is everyone going? I think there's some new people in. I haven't asked how everyone is. Laura says, I want to live in a vault. Better living underground. And yes, Fallout vibes intensify. I don't think I could live in a vault.
I mean, it'd be like how you'd be living on Mars, so if you can't cut it on a vault, maybe you need to rethink your Mars trip.
I don't know. But I imagine you could see the outside when you're in Mars, because I imagine it'd be like domes.
Well, sure, but what is there to see?
Or there'd be like a
rock
window.
and dirt?
Yeah, but seeing rock and dirt's better than just seeing like a concrete roof. Or ceiling, I should say.
Sure, but I think in some of the vaults they did have like windows that were supposed to be like fake windows where it'd be like whatever scenery, which I imagine they will also do on Mars in some cases.
Probably, but I just... I know, I'd rather look out at something real than like something fake.
That makes sense. I get where you're coming from.
Oh, so Brandon asks, Magnetar, we are all dying to know, in your opinion, what is the best Star Trek series, and what is your favorite episode of Star Trek?
I don't think I could answer the favorite episode one, because there's a lot. I'll have to come back up to that one. I want to think of like a really good one, you know. I thoroughly enjoyed Next Generation, Star Trek Next Generation, that series. To be quite honest, the only other one that I've kind of watched all the way through, I think, was Discovery. I think it was Discovery. So it's a little unfair because I haven't watched all of them. But yeah, I preferred Next Generation over Discovery.
Nice. Ooh, Joshua's asking. Joshua's he keeps.
You don't even need to preface it with Joshua anymore.
I
Just
know.
preface it if it's not Joshua.
Do you think Tesla was done dirty by Edison, or was it just a story?
You know, so I'm not like super up to, date on every fact in that scenario, but from what I do know, it sounds like he was done dirty. It also sounds like maybe there was a little nefarious behind the scenes action going on from the powers that be to suppress some of the stuff that Tesla was working on, and that has since disappeared. So
yeah. So Omar has a question. I once saw a documentary about solar panel roadways, roads where the surface of the roads are industrial type solar panels. Your thoughts on that?
yeah, I've seen that too, and I've seen some of those proposals and like requests for pilot program testing of that. One, I don't think we're there yet in terms of the technology and like the durability of panels to make that worthwhile, or even the energy production to make that worthwhile. The cost alone, I think, wouldn't make sense. But I think it's just easier and more cost effective to do it on our rooftops or covering. There's certain crops that could do with some covering from direct sunlight. Again, parking lots and stuff like that. I think that makes more sense. In terms of what we could do with our roads, aside from limiting our reliance on cars and roads specifically, especially in cities, I think is the first thing I want to say. But another thing for roads that I've seen talked about is, at least in cities and in parking lots, making them like essentially wireless chargers. So as we begin using electric vehicles, essentially anytime you're parked in like a parking garage, or when you're in your driveway, or when you're driving through downtown, you are continuously getting that trickle charge, which I think makes more sense.
Nice. I hope that
I assume there was a donation.
Yes! It's a good... but I hope that answers your question, Omar. Let's see. Hey, Hopeful! One of my dear channel members, coming with a $5 donation. Sorry I'm late, I was asleep. Hey, lady! And Space Dude!
Yo, what up?
Hell yeah, Hopeful, it's good to see you. Okay. I'm behind again. No one say a word.
Pause.
It's like, don't worry about it. I'm not behind. You guys are just early. Yes.
Alright.
So Joshua is asking, does anyone here garden? And no, I don't. I wish I did though. What about you, Max?
No, I'd like to. I just had a really awesome, speaking of solar, a really awesome ground mount solar array installed in my backyard. And it's a little lower than I would like in terms of on the mount it's on. So when the dogs are out, I can't see past it when they're in the back of the yard. So my thought is to sort of put a small fence like halfway through the yard and using that back section to just sort of let it grow wild and kind of plant, indigenous plants back there and letting it kind of just, letting nature take its course. Not really a garden, but there's that I'd like to do. And in terms of gardening, I have actually also looked into like some hydroponic stuff, which is really interesting to me. Again, I don't know if that counts as gardening, but it's certainly a way that we could, grow our own food.
Nice. Oh no, innocence, that sucks. Hang on. Joshua says, we must science that thumb there, Brewski. Oh my god, I'm ahead of the chat now. Yes!
Wow. Congratulations.
Oh my god.
Bravo.
I need to get a medal for this.
Yeah, YouTube needs to give you some sort of badge.
It does. Kept up with chat. Oh, so Omar asks a question. Star Trek or Star Wars, and why?
I'm gonna have to say Star Wars, and a lot of that is based on just like the nostalgia factor, because I grew up watching that and having my grandpa show me the original trilogy. And then like I remember I got picked up early from school to, in the middle of the day, go see Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. And I remember my grandma, like, not that there's anything wrong with Madagascar, but I remember my grandma saying like, oh, we're gonna go see Madagascar. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then we walked in and it was Star Wars, and I was so hyped, bro. I was so hyped. But no, I do love, I have a soft spot for Star Wars, and I think a lot of their extended media, especially in terms of video games, has certainly done a lot better than Star Trek. Some of my favorite games are Star Wars games as well. So I'm gonna have to go with that, even though I do think the Jedi are very much like a cult that probably should have not. It's okay that they went down, but maybe not in the way that Anakin went through with it.
Ooh, this is so. What do you think of the Sith, though, or do you think that the Jedi and the Sith are both like just the same thing, really?
I think they're both pretty trash. However, becoming a weird, creepy-looking, ugly dude aside, I would probably have ended up more Sith than Jedi.
Well, I mean, so from like I'm not a very big Star Wars like nerd or anything, but from what I do know, like Sith that still embrace who they are and their emotions, and like
Right.
while like the Jedi shun all of that completely.
Yeah, there's they have this, I guess, like policy, or for lack of a better word, of just sort of getting rid of your kind of emotional attachments, and also this like fear of the quote unquote dark side and other things like that. So instead of trying to understand these things and learning about them, they're just like, no, like let's not, just stop. And then they take somebody like Anakin as a kid who had all of these issues and needed this sort of mentoring and had these questions about the Force and desires, and they were just told like, oh, don't talk about that because that's like the dark side. You don't want to, we don't talk about the dark side.
Like,
so
it's like, don't talk about your trauma at all.
Right.
Repress it as much as you can.
Yeah. If he had a proper way to express his loss when his parents were killed, or his fears of Padme dying in his dreams, then a lot of this, Anakin killing younglings would have been avoided.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. It's very like, I mean, they kind of set him up for it in some ways.
Yeah, for sure. Very much. I actually recently watched sort of like a retrospective of the prequel, and there was just a lot of emphasis put on how different things would have been if Qui-Gon had actually gone through with the training of Anakin, because Qui-Gon was very much and I've not really read a lot of extended lore on him, but apparently he was very much sort of like an outlier in the Jedi, where he's very much sort of like Anakin in the way that he like sort of questioned things and was more open to talking about sort of these taboo subjects that the Jedi Order wasn't, or the Jedi Council at least wasn't wanting to.
Yeah, like I think it's always kind of a bit unsettling when an organization refuses, questions or, criticism. A bit of a, I don't know, it does sort of leave things open to, just, it's like them telling you, it's like, this is what it is. Listen, and
Right.
do not fight us. Yeah. This is making more sense in my head. Yes, correct us if we're wrong, Laura. There's a chance we are.
Yeah, I'm certainly not an expert on, especially the extended lore.
Mm. So, what do you enjoy about horror?
A lot of the times, I'm not trying to like sound cool, but a lot of the times I'm not really scared of horror, especially like horror movies or horror stories or anything like that. It's not like a fear, adrenaline type thing that has me kind of enjoying it. It's more so like in a good horror story or a good movie, for me, the enjoyment comes from sort of like the surprise and the ability for the story to surprise me in a way that's unique. Not necessarily following traditional tropes or doing something unique with those tropes. I like the vibe of a horror movie. But yeah, I think for creators to find new and interesting ways to scare people or to tell that kind of story is what entices me a lot about horror.
That's a good answer.
Thank you.
So what types of, I know you're obviously the sci-fi, but what other kinds of horror do you enjoy?
Outside of sci-fi and its genres, I mean, I really like cryptid horror, like about various cryptids, and I'm not talking just like wendigos or vampires and stuff like that, but just like all sorts of cryptids, especially if they're like really kind of adopted by local communities, like a chupacabra or the Mothman and stuff like that. I find those stories very, very cool. Um, I guess technically sometimes there is a lot of overlap with sci-fi and aliens when we're talking
Yeah.
about some cryptids, but yeah, and then I do like a good, like a good sort of B-rated slasher film. Horror, that's fun.
No, do you like it because like mentioned you don't really get
Not,
the adrenaline rush, but like is it so over the
it's
top it becomes comical?
Yeah, exactly. And that's honestly how a lot of horror movies are to me. It's more entertaining and like not like I'm like making like laughing throughout the movie. Sometimes I am if it's extremely absurd, but oftentimes it's just like an entertaining thing and not like a horror thing. Like I remember I watched The Descent when I was in like middle school or something like that. I don't really remember when it came out, but I remember hearing like, "Oh, it was the scariest movie ever," and people were like crying in the movie theater. And I was like, my cousin and I watched it, and we're like, "This is it." And then we were laughing at the little monsters because they look like goofy little like goofy long-limbed babies just running around. Um, so yeah,
I think that's the problem when people hype things up. It ruins it too, like because you get
right.
such a bloated expectation in your head about whatever it is, and you're like, yes, it's gonna be amazing, and then you see it, and you're like, oh.
Right. So there was one, not, I mean, in the last couple of years, horror series that I watched on Netflix called The Haunting of Hill House. And there's been a couple afterwards. There's like The Haunting of Blair Manor, and then another one, I think. Whatever genre of like quote unquote horror that is phenomenal. It's not really focused on the scares, so to speak, but again, it's like a deeply like human story, and it's sort of like calling into question like, are these really ghosts? Are these just like the manifestations of like guilt or anger or whatever in the minds of these characters. There was really sad parts. There was funny parts. It was just a phenomenal series, and anything by that, it's Mike Flanagan. Anything by him has been amazing. Midnight Mass is another one, not connected with that, but Midnight Mass has like vampire in it, and it's super cool.
Nice. So Joshua has to come back. His phone died. He's back to ask all the questions. Spooky and Mag, have y'all ever traveled to any ghost towns? I'll let you go first.
I don't think so. I've been in like hotels or like on bridges or trails that have claimed to be haunted. But here's maybe for this community a hot take. I don't particularly believe in ghosts. At least believe that ghosts are like dead humans sticking around for whatever reason. I don't really subscribe to that. Not to say it isn't fun. It is fun. But yeah, in terms of ghost towns, I don't think so.
I've been to some of the old the old mining towns from the gold rush days. So back when settlement happened, colonization, they basically thought that like the rain would be like in Europe, and it's very not the case. So they were out in these like desert areas where basically it's like desert for like 10 years or something. Maybe not 10 years, but then all of a sudden like the rains will come. And then it's like near enough flooding. And then it's like dry again. Floods. Dry. Floods. So yeah, it didn't go down too well. But so there's those abandoned sort of places. And also, you know, just farms, or like these small isolated communities, just
right.
You know, all the young people move to the cities, and then like all the old people pass away. No one wants to come back there anymore because there's just nothing there, and it just gets abandoned. I've been to some places. So
I very much
sorry, it's all good. We have like a quarantine station where immigrants would come and stay. And it's kind of disturbing, like, because I looked at it now, and basically, like, they have weddings there. I'm like, this is so morbid, and the worst possible way. It's like, what's wrong with you people? But yeah. Anyway.
Oh, sorry.
So good. What are
My
you?
phone's playing stuff. I thoroughly enjoy. Again, I'm not really a subscriber to ghosts as how they're normally presented in media, but I really find watching like ghost hunters or just, you know, people exploring like abandoned buildings, especially if there's like that aspect of sort of like ghost hunting in it. I find those thoroughly entertaining. And sometimes a little like creepy. I do get a little creeped out, more so because of the environments than, you know, like, oh, I heard a noise. But I find it really fascinating and cool, and I would love to go on like a ghost hunt or like just urban explore like that. So if anybody wants to go exploring, hit me up.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ooh, okay, so Brandon asks, if you were physically transported into the universe of any creepypasta you've narrated, which one would you choose and why?
That's a very hard question. And it's also hard because I'm finding it hard to differentiate creepypasta, quote unquote, from just like a short story. I'm going to take this and just change the word a little bit, just saying like what story generally that I've narrated would I want to live in. I'm scrolling through my stories right now because I don't have an answer off the top of my head, but this is an interesting question, so I'd like to answer it. If you have other things you want to ask while I'm looking, you can, and I will come back when I have an answer.
Nice. Okay, so Curtis asks, have you two watched The Thing from the 80s? That movie actually terrified me, and probably heavily inspired my writing style. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah, I have as well. Fantastic. And it had some really cool, if I remember correctly, at least the original had some really cool practical effects. I think I played like the game that came out, like on the original Xbox or something like that way back when, which is also super good. I'm trying as I'm scrolling through these stories, I'm like, which one of these is the least likely to get me killed?
Oh dear. Oh dear. I mean, Brandon has asked another question in the meantime. These questions are really great, guys. Thank you so much for asking them. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, really engaging conversations.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, I got an answer. So I reached out to a graphic artist a few years ago who worked on a series of art. What was it called? What was it called? I don't recall what the series was called, but the artist's name is Jimmy Duda, I think is how you pronounce it, Duda. And the plan was to use his series of art as one as thumbnails, but also as inspiration for stories. Like, okay, here's this image, and like me conceptualizing a story, which by the way is how I sometimes write a lot of my standalone stories. I find a really great piece of art and get in touch with the artist. Ideally, they respond pretty quickly, and then I kind of like create a story around that. But that's another topic. So this story on my channel is called Eden Rising. I'd really like to revisit those art pieces because it's a really cool. And in my mind, the building that we did and the world building that Jimmy had already done with his art is that it's a very much like a solar punk future where we've now lived, found out how to live in harmony with nature, but it's a little too late. Like the world has already collapsed, so everyone lives in these like giant flying ships that kind of look like whales, that kind of just like travel around, fly around Earth in the sky. But they have like gardens, and it's just really beautiful. And it's sort of like how they're surviving in the aftermath of having destroyed Earth. But I think I'd live there because it'd be neat to sort of like rebuild the world with sort of these new values and that new perspective, to make sure something like that didn't happen again. And yeah, I'll give you a link. I want to re-listen to this story because I need to remember if I thought it was good or not.
Dun dun dun.
Right.
Oh, these questions are amazing. I'm behind on the chat again.
All right. Maybe I'm talking too long.
No. Like it's a meme at this point with me being behind on the chat. I've accepted this. The chat has accepted this. It's the natural way of the world. So Brandon asks, if you are walking in the middle of the woods and saw a staircase leading to nowhere, could you resist the temptation to walk up to the top of the staircase?
I would probably at least go far up until I got tired. Now, I don't think I could resist. I think I would have to figure out where it ended. Even if I think, I would take breaks. Maybe if it was the point where I was like, I'm going to starve, or I need to like take a shower, go to the bathroom or something, then maybe I'll head back down. But then I might come back more prepared later. Maybe find it gone, and then I'd be sad and annoyed and thinking about that for the rest of my life and go crazy trying to find it again. But yeah.
I kind of want to see that. I was like, interesting.
Yeah. Maybe I'll make that a story.
Yeah, I was thinking about it too. I'm like, oh, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
You can have that one.
We're just like bartering over story ideas that we're getting. Ooh, okay. Oh, hang on. I want to answer. I want to answer. Oh, wait, no, it's asking me too. No, hang on. We better go on our break. We'll be back in just a second. But Joshua, I really want to answer that question. We're at the 2-hour mark nearly, so we'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so be right back. Okay, and we are back. Thank you for your patience, everyone. So,
It is a virtue, after all.
indeed, indeed, and we are most virtuous. So Joshua asks, Mag and Spooky sounds like macaroni and cheese for some reason. Sorry.
And make that like a cereal.
Like a Halloween special or something.
Right, and like it'll have like little skeleton and demon marshmallow looking like us.
I approve. I approve.
All right, I'll put it in the R&D phase.
Nice. What end of the world scenario are you most comfortable with dealing with?
Would you like to go first?
I kind of would, but like,
Go for
so
it.
basically, I think like what it's most likely to be is this probably environmental collapse or just another global recession or something like that. I know zombies sound cool, but like, I don't know. I don't really think that one would happen, but so basically, it will just be people just everyone's poor except a few people, which is kind of how it is now. But with what I'm most comfortable with, I'm pretty sure like I love the idea of like just. Well, I don't actually love the idea of living in it. Come to think of it, I'm like, ooh, all these sound terrible. But I don't know. I'm like a zombie one in a way would be good because it'll probably be quick. I mean, if you're a slow runner like myself, I mean, you know, as the saying goes, you don't need to run fast. You just need to run faster than your friends.
Right. It also depends on how slow the zombies are.
Exactly. So I'm hoping that they're like the slow walking kind, not the like
Right.
the sprinting kind. But yeah, I think that's about it. I could do the whole isolation hermit thing pretty well, I guess.
There you go.
Yeah, see? What about yourself?
Zombies! 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 Of course it's gotta be zombies. And I'm not thinking like, okay, is it realistically gonna happen? But it's got to be zombies, okay? One, if it's a Walking Dead type zombie, like,
You're fine.
that's no different than things are now. Like, it's sure, there's gonna be like a line of people at the, in the city, There's gonna be people annoying on the street. It's basically the same thing, okay? If it is quote unquote infected, like World War Z or Left 4 Dead, then count me out. I'll bury myself. But if it's zombies, even if it's zombies like Resident Evil, minus some of those bioweapons, I would still pick that. I have no illusion that it would be an easy life, but I think you could very quickly get it back to like a reasonable sense of society. Frankly, I don't understand in a lot of these, universes, how society falls so quickly from zombies. I mean, like, come on, what are you doing?
It's like, well, we saw one zombie time to loot everything. Shoot
right,
your
let's
neighbor.
loot everything. Your neighbor's dead. Let's burn down this whole district. Government's collapsed. Yeah, I don't know.
It's just,
but yeah, I think I would go with that.
I think it's because they want an exciting story, not what would probably actually happen.
Right. Yeah, I get that. And again, I think even in a zombie scenario, it's the people that you should be more worried about, as it is now. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm way behind on the chat again.
I do see that Audio said he's got to go. I don't know if he's already gone, but bye, Audio.
Who, September?
No, Audio Curtis.
Oh, okay. Bye, Curtis. Okay, I'm lost again. Hang on. I zoomed down and I'm just like, I don't know where. Okay, here we go. So, Brandon asks, if you were given the opportunity to upload your consciousness to the cloud before you die, would you do it?
We had a similar question before, and the answer is yes, I certainly would. I would prefer to be able to then, have my consciousness transferred to various bodies, robot bodies or whatever, as an option so that I can still experience reality. But also I would assume that in a upload scenario, we could also create our own virtual worlds. Or there's a show on Hulu, perhaps, called Upload, which is kind of the same thing. They die, they copy their consciousness into a thing, and they live in like essentially like a resort. But of course, it's in our modern capitalist world, so like you have to pay to live there, and like there's still hierarchy and stuff. But yeah, being able to live in your own virtual world sounds cool too.
Nice. Yeah, like nah, I'm good. I'll die. It's fine. It's a nah.
I would like to. I think a big thing of it for me is that I want to have the choice of when I am permanently gone from this world, like after I've experienced everything I wanted to, after I've gotten bored, essentially. Like, I don't know if you've ever watched The Good Place, which is also on Hulu, I think.
I don't have Hulu.
That's fine. It was on some channel, I don't remember, but there's no spoilers, I don't think, in this, but essentially when people are ready to, like, move on, because The Good Place is essentially like the afterlife, is the thing that they're in. They, like, can just, like, go through this doorway and stop existing when they're ready, you know what I mean? I think I like that idea of having control of that.
But I don't think there'd ever really be a time when you stop experiencing.
I don't subscribe to the idea of an afterlife personally.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so for me, again, like, in the sense of preservation, self-preservation, and also being able to keep my loved ones with me, for me, that is in a way creating our own afterlife, either a virtual world or allowing people to, transfer their consciousness to something else.
And that's true. I don't know about the transferring consciousness. Like, it's, mind you, I'm not in the position where, like, I'm about to die, and that's like my only option. So it's like, yeah.
Right.
Will do, Laura. I'll let you know before I go ghost hunting. I'm sure I'll be fine. Oh, hello, CWL. Welcome to the stream. I think I'm a little bit behind. But it is good to see you. Welcome, welcome. So they're talking about different movies.
This is just an out of context comment I see from Richard that says, "So long as I get their bones." I don't know what that is talking about.
Oh, that's about I imagine Adam might be here. Basically, the chat owns Adam's bones. It's a meme now. I don't know how this happened.
All right. Fun.
Yep. I'm a little behind. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, I really am behind. People are talking about the staircase thing. I'm like, oh no.
Jeez.
Look. It's fine. It is fine. Bye, Curtis. I'm pretty sure that happened ages ago.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like this old school program, just like beep 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 beep, and just like, oh, you're going by, and like they left like centuries ago. Let's see. Ooh, Joshua asks, Mag and Spooky, what alien pet would you like to have in real life? The creature from Nope, a xenomorph?
A head crab from Half-Life.
What's a head crab?
I
haven't played Half-Life.
It's sort of like a face hugger, but at least in the game, it looks cuter. I'm sure if it was real, it'd be horrifying. But as I perceive it in the video game, I would love a head crab as a pet.
I'm gonna have to look this up after the stream. I'll probably be like, ugh.
Here, let's find a picture right now. Head crab. Half-Life.
Madam Raven says, I plan to die early in the apocalypse.
Yeah, this is kind of terrifying. That's okay.
Yeah,
I'll still take it.
Oh.
That's just the first thing that came to my mind. Of course. Classic.
It cut out then and made this sound when you were talking. I'm like, oh no. Discord! Brennan says, Romero, zombies are the best zombies. I like my zombies slow and dumb.
Yep.
I agree. Richard loves Shaun of the Dead. Hell yeah.
Shaun of the Dead is fabulous.
It really is. That's
anything
so
with those boys are great, frankly.
Ooh, okay. Joshua's asking the hard-hitting questions.
Sure.
Joshua says, Mag, in a purge scenario, would you protect Spooky? And Spooky, would you betray Mag at the final moments?
Assuming we found ourselves on the same continent,
yeah.
Being that she's the only one I know in Australia. No, that's not true. I know a handful of others in Australia, but being as she knows the lay of the land, I certainly would see her as a valuable ally. And I have no beef with Spooky.
Exactly.
So, I'd keep you around.
Aww.
Right.
Look, Mags is my friend. I will look after him, make sure he's fine. I'll protect him from the giant spiders. But if it's a choice between him and some chicken nuggets, look.
Wow.
Okay. I'm joking, mostly. I would kill them, and then I'd give you one chicken nugget, but I'll eat the other ones.
You might as well kill me then, if I have to watch you eat the rest.
Look, I don't think you understand how generous me giving you one actually is. You should be feeling the friendship right now. Like, they should be like, friendship is magic.
After we take everybody else out,
what?
You and I will then have our 1v1.
Oh, yeah. It's like, now we must fight.
Right, exactly.
I mean,
like a game of not a Game of Thrones, a Hunger Games scenario. You know, you can make it a temporary alliance, and then then it's there's gotta be there can be only one.
I can just imagine like the chat watching us at a distance, like guys, the resort's over here, guys, and there's like, nah, we'll watch. Place bets. Right. Hello, Alternative Night. Welcome to the stream. It is good to see you. Welcome. I'm trying to catch up. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm trying my best. So Richard has a question. Mags, have you seen the film Maximum Overdrive? And do you believe that machines will take over?
No, I've not seen the film. I'll have to check it out. Do I think machines will take over? I think when you say machines, I'm going to assume that also like that just means like AI, like just non-organic beings in general. I want to say yes, but I want to the caveat being that, and I think a futurist said this, Ray Kurzweil or something like this. Yes, the robots will take over, but they will be our children, is the quote. Essentially, that we will have reached a point where it's called the singularity, where we will have integrated with machines and the technology we've created so much so that we're like essentially not humans anymore. We've become a new race, living in living with this technology as a part of us. I think that is inevitable. Do I think a Skynet scenario is going to happen? Not really. At least I hope not.
Dun dun dun. It'll be fine. Everything's fine. Ooh, Brandon's coming in. These questions are so good, guys. Do you believe in free will?
We had this conversation, or had a conversation earlier about, do I think we live in a simulation? And I said it's more likely that we do than don't. In the scenario that we do live in a simulation, which again I think is most likely, I don't think free will is a thing. If this is base reality in real life, then I think free will is a thing. So it's kind of, it's a nuanced answer for me, I guess. And no way to prove one way or another.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. I hope that answered something.
Oh, Richard, and liberate your horses. Look, there's nothing wrong with me liberating horses in Red Dead. Alright, they all belong to me, it's fine. Ooh, oh my god. Brandon's got some good questions too. So,
Brandon's been around, shout out to him, he's been around for quite a while, since the beginning, so really appreciate you being here today.
Hell yeah, Brandon. Let's see. So, what apocalypse scenario do you think you'd be most likely to survive?
Probably the one that you described, like an environmental collapse. I think, I'm not a survivalist by any means, but I think I know enough people that have, various talents or knowledge to where that I would have a pretty good chance if they survived as well. Worst case scenario, maybe a little bit of raiding in the beginning, get what I need. And just head out.
I see. Raiding.
Right. Well, I mean,
Scandaled. Absolutely scandalized.
Look, I'm just being honest. It's an end of the world scenario. If I find a group of bad people, I'm not afraid to take what they got.
Well, how do you determine if they're bad or not?
Well, they're not me, obviously.
Oh, okay. So it's like that.
Right.
Alright. It's like anyone who isn't me is bad.
Right. At least I'm starving to death, okay?
Alright, okay.
No. On a serious note, I'm very big on like mutual aid and like think that communities, like local communities, even down to like the neighborhood level, should practice mutual aid and like have people that, like, I know that, Jim down the street can sew and he does woodworking, and so you can take care of yourselves if anything like this ever happens.
I think a lot of people are like, I'm gonna go the lone wolf route, but it's like that doesn't really work, because like so many things in our society are done by different people, and it was even more necessary in like a pre-industrialized society.
Yeah,
because everything took so long.
Yep, for sure.
Yes, only to place bets and trying to help Lady to win. Yep, Nuggies were mentioned. It's on. It's on. Oh, bye, Mad and Raven. Have fun with the fireworks.
Auf Wiedersehen. There's a cat walking around my desk now, so if you hear noises, that might be what it is.
He's a kitty. It's okay. Sorry, guys. I may be slightly behind in the chat again. Now, Richard asks, have you seen the film I, Robot?
Of course, I love it. Yeah, I have nothing else to say about it. I love the movie. It's a fun watch. It's a great movie. Will Smith does solid in it. What's his face? Shia LaBeouf is funny in it. Cool premise. Love it. 2 thumbs up.
Nice. Brandon asks, do you think that a Carrington event, a geomagnetic, my throat is so dry. I've had so much coffee today that my body's like, we need water, what are you doing? Fucking goddamn it. A geomagnetic storm caused from the sun would knock out all electronics. Will happen in our lifetimes. How will you think it will affect humanity?
If I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, I think we're like right around the time period where we're supposedly like due for one. Though I don't know if that's a fallacy because I've not like actually dug into any sort of like scientific research on that. So it's probably just something I heard on a YouTube video. So don't quote me on that. In the event that it does happen, I don't think we're prepared for it. I don't think our grids are prepared for it. I don't think society is ready for what that means or what the potential recovery period could be. I think we would see a temporary collapse of society. I think it's not something we couldn't recover from, in the sense that like I don't think the world's going to end and we're never going to get our technology back and we're back to the Stone Age type deal. I think it'll eventually come back, once we've repaired things. But I think there will be, a short period, maybe, like months or something like that. Potentially like a few years where things are just shit. We don't have a supply chain. There's looting and rioting and some level of martial law, probably. Yeah. Scary to think about, and I wish world governments and others took the danger more seriously. As with many other things.
I agree. CW says, I have high hopes for the Great Ape Uprising.
I finally, maybe 2 years ago, watched the new Planet of the Apes trilogy. It was phenomenal. I don't know why I waited so long to watch them. I had such a good time watching it. And yeah, okay, I'm happy for them to take over. Go for it.
Nice. What? I just keep thinking of Planet of the Apes, and I keep thinking of like the GIF apes together strong. It's like one of those weird like personal jokes with a friend. So whenever I think of that, I just Okay. Joshua asks, Mag and Spooky, who would win in a fight between the Darksonium and Mr. Creepypasta? Bare knuckle boxing and an ample amount of body oil provided. Why did you need to add the last part to that question? I don't know. I would probably go with Darksonium in that one.
I don't know what either of them look like, so frankly, I don't know if I could take them or not.
Well, that's between them two, not you. Not everything's about you, Mags.
It was you and I against them.
Oh, we'd mess them up. We'd mess them up.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yep. And people like get a message of like, "Hey, Lady Spookaria said that you're about to take too long." I go to like we go to some creepypasta con or whatever, and they're like ready to go. We're like, "What the
They
hell?"
roll up. They got their hands taped up and ready to go.
No, it's bare knuckles, so there's no tape.
Oh, okay, right. Sorry.
It's on. Oh no. Hello, a stranger on the internet. Welcome.
Hey, I saw them yesterday on 242's
Oh yeah.
stream.
Oh yeah.
What up?
Yeah, yes, I'm slightly behind. Don't judge me. Oh. So Stranger says, what if all narrators on YouTube are an otherworldly group of people who are able to open windows into other worlds, as in, say this, in the I've traveled to a terrible alternative universes trilogy. The rift is described as a window to another reality. I'd like to think that all creepypasta narrators are capable of opening windows between the fabric space-time and view the worlds of different stories. Stranger, that is classified information.
Yeah, I don't know how you
I
found that out.
yeah.
And the fact that you're comfortable enough to post that on the internet is just sad, because I'm sure there's somebody at your door right now.
Yeah, just, well, it's like FBI except for YouTube narrators. It's like, some guy's gonna break through your door, another one through your window, and through your ceiling for some reason. I don't know why that one's. Anyway.
He's been waiting up there in the ceiling for a few weeks now.
He's been waiting for his chance.
Right,
like,
waiting for his moment.
He's like, any moment now, I will have my day.
Yeah.
There's like one in every person's house just in case a raid happens. And,
right.
And they're like, don't forget to feed your FBI man in the ceiling. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway.
Yeah.
Look, I don't talk that much, okay, innocents? I feel attacked. Oh, Ferric asks, hello Ferric, by the way.
Hey, Ferric, what up?
What do you think the first alien species we encounter will be like?
Assuming they come to us, I think they're going to be friendly and cool and hopefully a little sexy.
Just imagine. And you're like, I found an alien. It's sexy. I'm like, okay.
It's sexy, guys.
It's like,
no,
we win.
I mean...
It's sexy. And I'm like, okay, I'll go take it, and I'll open the door, like inside your spaceship opens up, and I'm just looking, going, oh, that's wow.
Right.
Wow.
So,
wow. Sorry.
Yeah, telling myself a little bit there. But yeah, I think if they are introducing themselves to us, they have to at least be super aggressive. Because I feel like if they wanted to eliminate us, they could easily do it before we even knew what the hell was going on, if they were capable of traveling to us. I mean, maybe they want to enslave us. That's better than eliminating us. Maybe. I think it's more likely than not that they'll be friendly, though, because if they've gotten to the point, in my mind, that they're able to travel, that means they've... In my mind, again, we're basing this on a human perspective. They've been able to put aside their own societal differences to get to that point in their society, that they're able to have this technology and travel off their planet and so on and so forth. So it makes sense from a human perspective to think that they're advanced more than we are with that sort of thinking.
Nice. As for me, I'm not too sure. A part of me is like, what happens if they're warlike?
And that very much could be the case. Maybe we haven't met any other civilizations because there is one hyper-aggressive civilization.
There's a theory, and I can't remember what it's called, but basically the reason why we don't hear anything is because there's a bigger predator around and everyone's else is quiet. And we're like, look at us, we're humans, have our DNA, we're over here, woo! Yeah. Everyone's like, just ignore him. Just ignore the humans. They'll shut up eventually. We're like, woo, come say hello, woo! And there's like a great white shark, well, an alien version going dun, 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 near us. I think it depends. I think if we encounter them, they're more likely to be hostile, I think, in a way, because they're like, oh my god, what the hell are these things? You know?
Yeah, it's very much that they might not be hostile to us because they, like, are evil, but it could very much be how we perceive ants. You know, we're not, like, maliciously trying to, at least in most cases, not maliciously trying to eliminate them. We just don't give it a second thought. And they're like, oh, there's an ant here. Let me just, like, step on it or spray it or get rid of this ant pile. They very much could be so advanced that that's how they see us.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. We are kind of like cockroaches, to be honest.
This is getting dark, dude. Like, we are just cockroaches. There is no free will. I think
Right.
aliens will be peaceful. It's like, there's a lot of contrast within you, Max.
Yeah, I haven't. There's a whirlwind inside of me.
Let's see. I'm a little bit behind. I know. It's like I say it all the time. It's like I'm a little bit behind. Okay, guys, I'm a little bit behind. Okay, every time I think I'm okay, scrolly. Flashing. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to find it. So Brandon says, what do you think that large language models like ChatGPT are ultimately going to be good for humanity, or will it lead to a dystopian society? Do you think AI should be subject to any regulation?
There definitely needs to be sort of like a universal consensus on AI regulation, like a universal agreement, rules that people need to abide by. I think that needs to also happen with like vast input from different sectors of the world, not just like technologists, but humanitarians and social sciences and doctors and philosophers, so on and so forth, need to come together to write that sort of like ethics of AI, I guess. So that should definitely happen sooner rather than later. I also do think legislative bodies, especially US Congress, is very far behind in not even just AI, but just internet stuff in general. That TikTok hearing was embarrassing. The other part of the question, ultimately going to be a good thing. I think it has, just like all technology, the potential to be one of the greatest things to happen to us if we work really hard to reorganize our society and reorientate our priorities and what it means to be a thriving person. Because if we continue with the way we're going, I certainly see this great technology and any future technology sort of being gatekept from the majority and limited to only, a select few, which would not be good.
With that. I like the dystopian society. I think most of my stories end up going to dystopian society. I'm like, yes, misery. Alright, sorry. Joshua! Spooky and Mag the Conqueror. Why does he get a cool title? Joshua,
Nice.
I need one too. So salty. I'm like, how dare he? Have y'all ever had any dreams that brought about great change in your lives? Any perspective shifts? A hungering for waffles?
I'm always hungry for waffles, but
same.
You can go first if you have an
No.
interesting
Sorry, I was about to say you first.
Yeah, I can't think of any like perspective changes from a dream that I've had. I know I've had many a times real life anxiety from dreams I've had or reoccurring dreams or something like that. But I can't think of a specific change or perspective that has come from one, unfortunately.
Nice. I've had some like really horrific dreams. But I will say, like, even the horrific ones in some ways, like, in some of them I've turned into content, so there's that benefit, but in some ways they were that bad that I needed to change what I was doing in my life. So, yes. I hope that answers your question, but yes, the hungering for waffles, yes, absolutely, 100%. All the sexy women. Joshua says it's over for Earth women at this point. Oh my. Brandon asks, do you think we will ever be able to stop dangerous disinformation from being disseminated?
Sorry, I had the last part I got lost in. Could you repeat that?
Disseminated.
Mm-mm.
Or do you want me to repeat the whole thing?
You can repeat the whole thing.
I was just like, you were just there going,
I was like, that didn't help me. I think I heard it, but like it was jumble in my brain for some reason. So then hearing that last word was like, okay, that didn't help me.
I just imagine you like just staring at me blankly, being like, like, oh, okay.
Pretty much.
Do you think we will ever be able to stop dangerous disinformation from being disseminated? I'm probably pronouncing it wrong.
That's right. But I don't think we could ever properly do that. The only way I could see it being feasible is utilizing AI to like, go through posts and stuff like that to clear it out. But then that gets dangerous because then it's like, again, if it's like powerful elites or the government or somebody controlling that, then it's their interpretation of what dangerous information is. I'm not saying we shouldn't moderate or ensure like fake news and super dangerous information is not there. I just think it can be a slippery slope, and I don't think it's possible to ever completely eradicate it. But it is an issue.
No, like I'm pretty sure like Facebook has been such a bad thing in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I don't want to break my own rules. I was like, can't, no.
I'm fine if you break the rules.
I know, but like, it's a bad thing, It's like only I can break my rule. I'm pretty sure one day I'm just gonna like have a night stream and like maybe have like a naughty drink or something, and then be like
an after hours stream.
Yeah, and be like, and then I wake up the next day and I'm like, oh, I've been cancelled. It's like, well, it's bound to happen someday. Anyway. Oh, guys, we can't hear the music, so the music just automatically changes on its own, but that is eerie how it's becoming spooky and intimidating as we talk about aliens dominating our world and conquering human society.
Love it.
Yep.
Sexy aliens conquering our world.
Of course. Of course, they have to be sexy. Just imagine these unsexy aliens come. It's like, absolutely not,
no one
go
wants
away.
Yeah. Actually, could you not invade us, please? Thank you.
It's like, yeah. Like,
do you have like a hotter sister species?
It's like, yeah. Look. We're just on the mood to be, invaded right now.
It's not you. It's me.
It's us. We're going through some things right now, and you're really cool. No. Don't. You're really, really cool. But like,
exactly.
Yeah, we just want to
like
be
you
alone.
do have a really big gun, I promise. But like,
it's really cool, and you're really good at conquering. But where does not the planet feel?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh. I can't wait to read the chat's comments when I finally scroll down to that.
That'd be great.
A little bit. Why are you guys making fun of me for a little bit behind? I'm going. Oh my god, innocence. No. New drinking game. Take a shot every time Lady Spookaria says I'm a little behind. No, you guys. I will spare your livers, okay? Oh, okay. Probably. Oh, nice. Spooky the Bloodsaken Witch, and Magnetar the Void King. What do you think about the possibility of FTL travel, and how do you think it could be carried out?
Why am I not seeing all of these comments? Like, I have light chat on. Like, I don't see that question anywhere. I feel like I'm not seeing all.
Okay, no. Like, close the thing and then open it back up again.
Close the thing, okay.
Yep, and then reopen it again. Or flick between what's the other chat?
The
top chat.
Go.
Yeah.
I got it now.
Sometimes it glitches out.
Okay, cool. Possibility of tail travel. Do you think it could be carried out? Ah. I think it will become possible, or it is possible, not under classical physics, but I think we may eventually figure it out, and I like the idea of it being, of course, like a warping of space-time around the object that's being traveled. So a shrinking of the space-time in front of you and the expansion of it behind you, thus propelling you through space.
Ooh.
I don't have the science to
Neither
break
do
that
I.
down. I just know that's ways it has been presented in some mediums. And I think that sounds somehow the most realistic way to do it. Maybe there's something to be said about creating wormholes, like, there's that visual of space being a piece of paper. You want to travel from point A to point B on the other side of the paper. All you do is fold the paper and stick a hole through them, and you're in the other side. The paper representing space and time, essentially. You fold it and create a hole, like a tunnel, through to the other side. That could be possible as well. But yeah.
Nice. I don't know much about it. Also, I know this is a little bit random, but have you ever played the game Stellaris?
Yes, I have. That is the
Paradox.
like city builder game, isn't it?
No.
Stellaris?
No. Like, it's basically a space game.
Hold on.
Like, there's different
It's like an
aliens.
RTS, like a strategy game, right?
Yeah. I think you'd enjoy it. I just thought about that. I do want to move on to something else because I'm like, my brain will not remember this.
Yeah, I started this, the Stellaris console edition, but I remember it started with me building like a city or something. I thought I might be conflating that with something else, but I did play it briefly because I remember selecting one of the alien races and you got to make like a backstory and all that, and it was really cool.
You should play it.
But I never got too much into it. Yeah.
Do it. I will interrogate you questions about it.
Okay.
Like, tell me about Stellaris. Anyway, so Dark Little Voice says Mars needs women, redhead women, Rob Zombie.
Okay.
Alright. See, the chat does this thing where it'll zoom up and down for me. I'm like, no, stop doing this.
Yeah, it's annoying.
So Brandon says, have you ever felt so bad about the content you released you decided to re-record it?
Yeah, and I can't remember what story it was. And I've also felt the need to do that recently with the Parallel Universes story, because I thought the part 1 was horrible. I think I did like a poll to my community, like asking if I should re-record it. And a lot of people said that they didn't think I should take the time to re-record it, that I should focus on new content. And a lot of people reassured me that it wasn't as bad as I thought it was, even though I think it's very, very bad. I've decided not to re-record it. I actually technically will be re-recording the Americans Not the First on the Moon story, because since I am using voice actors now, as opposed to doing it all myself, those old recordings are essentially going to be, I don't know, obsolete, especially since I've done a lot of like rewrites and changed some minor things. So I will go through and at least unlist those originals when the new one come out. You
could leave the originals for like channel members or something.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, see?
But yeah, there will be like a full, all the parts together, like complete version of it coming out with new audio and some rewrites.
Nice. Joshua, Mag and the final spook of your life. If you could grab, if you could grab from fiction any object and display it on your mantle, we all know you own a mantle. What would it be? The Infinity Gauntlet? Harry's wand?
Maybe that Garden of Eden, like the Apple of Eden from the Assassin's Creed series. That's probably a pretty cool thing to have, right? Doesn't it also let you control people and stuff? It's like a gold
Ooh,
sphere. That sounds pretty cool.
that is pretty cool.
Give me one of those.
Guys, no, don't drink because I'm behind. Stop. Stop your livers, please. If not, add me to your wills first, god damn it. Hello, Dark Robot. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you didn't just leave and think I was ignoring you. I'm behind. Oh, nice. Okay, so we got more questions. Okay. So Brandon asks, in your opinion, what is the worst invention ever created by humans?
I rant about this a lot, actually, and recently, like this weekend I did. Styrofoam is fucking absurd, okay? Like, especially like the styrofoam in like packages that like hold items or that you pull out, because then like when you're pulling out the items, like the styrofoam breaks off into little pieces and then little like confetti snow pieces, and it gets fucking everywhere, and it sticks to you and it sticks to the floor, and it's hard to clean up. It sounds terrible. Like, have you ever had a to-go container of styrofoam in like the backseat of your car, and it's like squeaking? It's like
Yeah.
when you're hitting bumps.
Yeah.
What a terrible. Aside from its environmental impact, it's just a dumb. It's just a dumb thing, and it's annoying, and I don't like them.
That's weird because
So-
most places have like thick cardboard like packaging for food,
Right.
and you go and you get like some random styrofoam. It's like this. I don't even
What is
remember
this
people
bullshit?
using this. Like it's like wow,
Right.
this is.
We
Wow.
banned Maryland banned styrofoam. So like when I travel out of state, like I was in Texas recently, that's all I was getting. All of my to-go stuff, all my drinks and cups were styrofoam, and I was so annoyed.
Understandably, I'm pretty sure in Australia everything is because they've tried to ban. I think they have banned plastic bags, or for the most part they have, but they got like the ones you can like reuse, but like
Right.
they're not that great. They may as well be like the old plastic bags to be real. But like everything else is like paper cups and this. It's very
Right.
rare to like get like plastic. They're trying to like eliminate plastic, but plastic is everywhere now though. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so Hopeful's like y'all should play Signalis, a great indie sci-fi horror game.
Oh my gosh. Signalis is amazing. I have put a few hours into it, and I fell off because I started playing other stuff, but I do need to go back and finish it. But it is a fantastic game and a fantastic story, and I think it was developed by only like 2 people, and I follow them on Twitter, and they've retweeted something of mine, so just saying. But yeah, the art style is great, the gameplay is great, it gives you that kind of classic like Resident Evil survival horror feel. The writing is great, and so is the world building, so definitely check it out.
Nice. So the stranger on the internet asks, alright, question Magnetar, what are your thoughts on the SCP Foundation, if any?
I think it's cool, a cool premise, and I understand it's like the largest sort of community-driven project that currently exists, from my understanding. I've watched a few of those like live-action SCP videos where like it's like a group of soldiers like investigating an SCP or something like that, and those are super cool. I really don't know a lot about SCPs. I know the general premise, but I've never like watched a bunch of videos on it. I haven't played any of the games, though I've wanted to play some of those like recent ones that came out on Steam that look fun. I really don't know a lot about it, honestly, but the little I do know about it seems really cool. Seems right up my alley.
I'm behind on all the SCP stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Waste just trying to I'm trying to just maintain my own content, it's hard. Also, if you haven't subscribed to me yet, or to Mags, you know, do it.
Do it.
Do it. Laura, could you post Mags links, please? Again. You know, no drinking! No drinking! Well, I tried to stop them.
You did your best.
I tried. I tried. Hello, Hossafel! Welcome to the stream. It's good to see you. Hello, hello. Oh my. So the stranger on the internet asks, will you ever read anything related to the Foundation?
Like Isaac Asimov's Foundation, I assume. I would love to. Let me see something real quick. I assume it's no longer copyrighted. It's probably in the public domain now, yeah? I don't remember when it came out. I think I'm looking at a post right now. It says some of the copyrights on Foundation stories were renewed. Some have expired. I will look into that because I'm seeing some that say like it'll be copyrighted until 2043, something like that. If I do find some stories that aren't, then sure, I would take a look at it. I just don't want to get sued.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, but it's also like sometimes like they don't even hit you right away. From what I've heard,
Right.
like they'll hit you like a year or two later.
Yeah, I did wonder about that. Like, would they even notice like little old me posting this? You know, like who's watching for that?
I don't know, like, but I don't know, it's just, that's part of the reason why I never used to narrate other people's stories, but it was because I didn't want to, like, get hit with anything later on.
Mm-hmm.
But...
yeah.
So Brandon asks, if you were to become a shapeshifter, what would you look like in your default form?
Probably like Zac Efron, like a couple of years ago, before he had like his face surgery. He's a pretty good looking guy, right?
I didn't even know he had face surgery.
Oh yeah, he looks weird now, bro. He looks completely different. I think supposedly he like broke his jaw, and so he had to like reconstruct some stuff. It does not look great.
Oh no.
I mean, it doesn't look bad, but it just doesn't look like him, you know? Yeah, sure. I'll just walk around as Zac Efron pre-surgery.
Okay.
Is that an interesting answer to your question, Brandon?
Oh, stranger meant the SCP Foundation. Okay.
Yeah, is that not what we were talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, he's saying Foundation stories. Okay.
Oh,
He was
okay.
talking about SCP Foundation, not Isaac Asimov Foundation. Yeah, I'm open to it. I just have no idea where to start. And I also know that a lot of people do that. So if I do take that on, I would want to make sure that I'm like, I don't know, doing it in a way that makes it valuable for me to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you want to do... I don't know, it seems like a very competitive thing to do. Like, so when people do old school creepypastas, like, you're competing against videos that are very, very established.
Right, exactly. And yeah, so that's the thing, like, I want to make sure I have something unique to offer. If it's especially something like that already has a huge existing fan base and huge creators that are already focused on it.
Bye, Richard. It was lovely seeing you here. Hope to see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Oh, Brandon has another question. If you had access to a time machine, what time periods would you like to visit in the past?
I need to take a look at what all these ancient civilizations were doing around the times their pyramids and their monuments were built. I want to figure out, like, how did you build them? 2, was it aliens? You know what I mean? I got to see what was going on there. You know, Inca, Maya, Egypt, you know, all the Mesopotamia stuff. Figure out what was going on over there with the, what the hell are they? Sumerians, all that stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, do a little time hopping between those civilizations. Maybe see the Eastern Island heads when they were more than just a head.
Like, I want to go everywhere. Like, I'd want to see, like, dinosaurs as well. Well, very briefly from, like, a little safe bubble, but, like, I wouldn't be like, yes.
Right.
Because, like...
There's a movie... Sorry.
I don't know, it's okay. Go on.
There's a movie called The Sound of Silence, I believe. It's based on a book, and I think I considered narrating the book. It's like, or it's a short story, so to speak. But it was just, I remember it being a really interesting movie. Basically, they go back to time. Like, there's a company that does like tourism back in time to like the dinosaurs, and you're not supposed to step off this path because if you do, you'll fuck stuff up, like the butterfly effect. And they were there to like hunt a T-Rex. They like shoot the T-Rex, but it was a T-Rex that I was already going to die anyway because it was in like quicksand. Of course, rich people want to go and kill something, but one of the people like step off the trail and step on a butterfly, and then when they come back to like the present, like everything's like fucked up. There's like a forest going through the cities. It's like time is meshing in with like their modern time is meshing in with like a parallel time, and like in the end, they weren't able to stop the shift, and like it fades to black and comes back, and they're like water people. It was just a really interesting way to end it, and they had like gills and stuff. Interesting movie. Might rewatch it again. Sound of Silence. Or wait, Sound of Thunder. That's what it's called.
Nice, I'll have to check it out. Oh, wait. Joshua is asking his final question. Oh my.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. Wait, no, wait. He didn't ask it yet, but he said before this, I just want to say that you both being part of the horror community is a real treat. And thank you for your hard work. Inspire the next generation of horror narrators with pride. Oh, thank you so much, Joshua. That is really sweet of you.
Yeah, that means a lot. Thank you.
It does.
And thank you for being so engaged here.
Yeah, like you guys have no idea what it means when people like comment. Like reading comments is one of my favorite things.
When people show up, it's great. They interact. We love it.
I mean, that's true, but like, you've got no idea what it's like, the stress of like writing a story, putting it together and everything else, and then like going through that anxiety of like, will people like it? Will people like it? And then when you see the comments like, oh my god, this story is cool, or I really like this, or I was on the edge of my seat, or you know, just general comments like that, it is so amazing. It's like, yes. Exciting.
Yeah.
Parsifal says, saying that the Incas built their pyramids with the help of aliens is such a Eurocentric view / meme. I'm curious about how it was done.
Did you... Oh, never mind. I found it.
What's up?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And it wasn't necessarily like me saying that I don't think other civilizations were capable of doing something that Europeans weren't capable of. More so that I am very interested in just seeing the process myself. Because it's something that, you know, a lot of mainstream scientists or archaeologists can't necessarily explain in a satisfying way, if that makes sense.
That's a very good answer. Yeah, so it's like I'm pretty sure they've just had some technology that just hasn't been found yet.
Yeah, and we've lost so much of our history and so much of like our texts and stuff from our past that it very well could be lost, you know, some sort of lost technology or lost knowledge that we just aren't privy to.
Innocence asks, did you ever play the game Returnal?
No, I'm pretty sure that's that game where you crash on space and like when you die you go back to like the beginning and you're playing as like a female astronaut. If that's the game that I'm thinking of, no, I really want to. I just don't have a PlayStation 5, so I haven't played it because of that reason.
Oh, Harsefeld, that's really sweet. Harsefeld says, the fact you're here means the world to us also. Oh, that's super sweet.
Cry.
The stranger on the internet says, adding on to what Joshua said, listening to Magnetar and other small community narrators is inspiring me to start a narration channel. Hell yeah! But I'm also inspired. Yeah, I'm also supply. Oh my god. But I'm also inspired by Mr. Creepypasta, DS, and Lighthouse. Ooh, nice. Nice. Okay, so the question is, if you opened a door to your respective houses and it opened to the back rooms, after the initial shock, what would you do with it? Tell someone, explore, burn your house down? I'll let you answer that first.
I would go buy some sort of like drone, flying or otherwise, tie like a string to it and have it fly as far as I can to like see what's in there. Mostly to also have that string so I know how to get back. But I think I might be too afraid to go in myself, because what if it closes? Like if I had no, like, I guess if it, like, I'd have to test it some way to make sure it could reliably be reopened so that I'm not trapped there. But I would have the desire to explore it in some fashion.
Nice. As for me, absolutely not. Nope. I played the game and I was just like, no, absolutely not. I am not going in.
I have the game on Steam, but I've not even once booted it up. I have no one to play with.
Well, I mean, I could suggest my friend, because I'm never playing it ever again. He's like, do you want to play? I'm like, no. He's like, why would you play with me? I'm like, I don't want to. I don't like that game. Anyway. So Stranger says, Magnetar's genre, however, is my favorite. I'm so grateful that I found Magnetar. Everyone give little love hearts for Magnetar. He's endured the interrogation as well.
Yeah, it's been great. I don't deserve love hearts, though.
Feel it. Feel the love. I just imagined when you said that, I was like pointing a gun at your head. Like, say the line. Say the line, Max.
Say it.
Oh, Brandon asks, what setting is scarier for a horror story? Space or the deep ocean?
For me personally, I find the deep ocean scarier than space, but I think for perspective stories and like plot devices and things that you can do with a story, for me, I think space is more interesting to like write about, or at least easier for me to write about. But personally, I would sooner go to space than take a submarine to the Titanic. Is that too soon?
No, it's fine. Everything's fine. No, I'm like, what do you... Oh, no, it's fine, don't worry.
All right.
No, I don't know, for me... You're right, something about the deep ocean sounds more scary than space. I think maybe because you're going, like, deep into, like, the planet.
Right. Yeah. And, like, there's a sense of isolation in both, but I feel like if something was coming at you, you'd have more of a chance of seeing it in space than you would in the ocean. I don't know if that's realistic or not. I'm not an oceanographer. I don't know what technology we have, but it just feels more alien to me than space for some reason.
I wonder what's down there.
I don't want to know what's down there. Yeah, I'm okay not knowing. We don't deserve to know.
Like, it's fine. Everything's fine. Oh yeah, the Library of Alexandria being lost. Oh, that I'm still about that. So.
Yeah, it was a real tragedy. I remember seeing it firsthand. It was terrible.
Yes, we both did. That's how we met, when the Library of Alexandria was burning. I'm like, oh my god, no.
Yeah.
Yep. True story. It's on the internet, therefore it's true. Stranger says, important, Dead Space. Have you played Dead Space?
Of course. I've only made it like a third of the way through the remake, though. I played the whole Dead Space trilogy, and then I started the remake, but I have not finished the remake. The remake is very good. You should play it.
It's on the list, okay? It's on the list of
Okay.
games. One of my friends is like, two of my friends are determined for me to play Death Stranding, and I just do not want to play that game for some reason. I just
The story is interesting to me, but God, the gameplay looks so boring and
yeah, I
annoying.
I like sort of boring, cozy games too, but like even I'm just like, no, I just don't want to do this. It sucks. I'm
Mhm.
just waiting for them to appear in the chat right when I mention it too. Anyway, Harsafel says the biggest problem with time travel isn't traveling itself, but the language. Speaking Latin would come in handy if traveling to ancient Rome. That is true.
My grandpa could speak Latin before he passed, and I thought that was so fucking cool.
That is really cool.
I'd love to learn Latin, but I can barely speak Spanish, and my entire family's fluent in Spanish, so I gotta work on that first.
You'll get there. You'll get there.
Yeah.
Oh, Joshua's heading out. Thank you for coming and asking all the questions, Joshua. It was lovely having you here.
Yeah. It was great, thanks.
Barton asks, if you could have any superpower, which one would you choose and why?
Teleportation, because it mixes, I feel like, a lot of things. Like I wouldn't need to fly or run fast if I could teleport. I think if you're creative enough, maybe you can find a way to teleport and time travel at the same time, because what's time travel but teleporting somewhere different in time and space. I wouldn't need invisibility to like sneak in places because I could just teleport there or somewhere hidden there. Yeah, teleportation seems the most useful.
Not sure personally. So we're past the 3-hour mark. So we're probably gonna be wrapping up soon. I don't want Mags to fall asleep on us. It's a long stream. If you're not used to it, like 3 hours is a long time. How are you coping?
It is a marathon, but I'm doing okay. It is 5 minutes after midnight, but
Oh,
we're doing
I didn't
fine.
realize it was quite so late for you again. You told me and I just slipped my mind. Because the sun's out for me. It's like, it's sunny everywhere. No kidding.
Right.
But so we're gonna do the call for sort of the final questions, and then I'm gonna drop the links. Well, Kat will drop the links. And you can also join Mag's Discord server as well. Also, are you willing to come back on the channel again?
I mean, this was such a terrible experience. I don't think I'd be open to
the
that.
gun's out again. It's like, do you want to come back on? Do you?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay.
Totally down.
Hell yeah. Innocent says, I think Lady Spook should play a stream of myhouse.wad. I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
It sounds...
I'm scared to look it up. Sounds sketch.
Yeah, it sounds really... sounds scary. Hasafel asks, who's your influence for narration and storytelling and writing, Lady and Magnetar? Mine is mostly Corpse Husband. My touch is bilingualism and guest friends.
You can take this one first.
So, I didn't know the community was as big as it actually is, or there were that many narrators. So I was influenced by Corpse Husband as well. But I've always loved writing stories. It's been a thing for me forever. Back when even when I was a young little demon. But I just kind of went for it. In more recent times, a lot of my stories have taken on like more of a apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic style, and even dabbling in a bit of sci-fi as well. But I do historical and mythological type style horror as well. I think it's interesting, and I also wrote a lot of the stories that I wanted to listen to. I'm like, I guess I'll do it myself. Damn it!
Right. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
For me, also, I have honestly never heard a single thing from Corpse Husband. I don't think I've ever heard his voice in my entire life.
What?
Yeah, so I don't know anything about the dude. I knew there was some controversies around him or something, but I've never visited his channel or heard anything from him. I think two narrators that I used to listen to, I mean, they're big ones, that I wish I could be more like, I think, in a way. Or if I could emulate them, it would be them, is Dark Somnium and Nature's Temper. Nature's Temper's voice is phenomenal. I love his voice and the stories that he chooses as well. And for Dark Somnium, his consistency and his, like, he does his own music, from my understanding.
He
Or
does.
most of the music is his own, which is super cool. I'd love to do that. I just don't have the time. I've done music before, and I've written music and was in like band and did some stuff in college, but yeah. So those two were kind of the main two that I used to listen to, and that kind of who I had in mind when I started my channel.
So Hopeful, by the way, Hopeful loves his horror games, so he says, Magnetar, if you want a game that might genuinely scare you, Lost in Vivo. Imagine FPS Silent Hill, if you will. One of the few games that actually scared me.
Lost in Vivo. It's on Steam. Okay. I have it pulled up. I will... Okay, the trailer's playing and it's very loud. I'll give it a look. Look-see. Hello?
Yep, I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
I forgot that I was on a stream, and I just like nodded. I'm like, wait. Sorry. It happens sometimes.
Thumbs up.
Yep. Best streamer award. This is why I should be a VTuber, so people can see the and the head nods.
Yeah, I dabbled with that. I even have a fully rigged astronaut skeleton VTuber model.
That is really cool.
I wish it was a little less like... My issue with VTubers too is I want a more like realistic looking VTuber, not so much anime style. But it is, I mean, it is fully rigged. It's like ready to be used. It's got really cool blinking physics and stuff. It's just I know I'm a skeleton, so the blinking is essentially like a little blue, like the blue light in my eye socket that goes out and then comes back on. It's kind of cool. Maybe someday I'll whip it out. The VTuber skeleton, that is.
I was gonna say something. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can't have people quoting or clipping that.
Yeah, people are just there going, "What did he say?" Cancelled. Anyway,
Right.
I would love to have like a full mesh VTuber thing sometime. I think, but I like say if I was in a stream like this, people would actually see the weird like ADHD things that I do. Like how I'm easy distracted and I have to fiddle with something in my hand, otherwise my brain stops working.
Right.
Yep. Let's see. Oh, thanks for posting the Linky Loos.
Linky Loos.
Linky Loo. So if I'm missing bits, I'm not meaning to. Also, House of L speaks some Latin and says, "Let me teach you." And as an alternative knight also knows a handful of Latin as well.
Huh.
Stranger. I speak a language, it's called English. Brandon asks, which of your stories do you think is worth re-listening to?
That's a really awesome question. I think a lot of the stories that I would suggest re-listening to aren't necessarily for like the content of the story itself, but some stories I just really like the way I narrated and how like I did the music in tandem with the narration. One story I like that I actually like the story too is one of the first ones I did actually. I think it's I don't remember the title. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going through it. Stand by. Stand by. The Quiet Sky. It was the third story I ever posted. Third story I ever narrated. I really liked The Quiet Sky. In terms of a long series, I really like the Edge of the Universe series. I may re-record that, actually. It is a very popular series, and YouTube absolutely skewered parts of it, the audio, for a song that at the time was copyright free and has since become copyrighted, I guess. So like good chunks of that full video are just muted, which is absolutely obnoxious. So I might re-record that. It is one of my favorite stories.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Innocents Unknown is heading off to bed. Good night, Innocence. Sweet dreams. Innocence says, may chaos be with you all. Excellent.
Night night.
Hasselfeld asks me, are you a demon or a fairy? Demon.
He's a vampire.
I will smack you. Well, stranger, look, I'm getting old. I'm an old demon. I'll be 7,004 this year.
That's pretty old.
East Coast is, yep. Brandon says, Nature's Temper is the most definitely the hottest narrator. He's literally Thor incarnate.
Yeah, he's pretty much the exact opposite of me, and he is a very, very handsome man.
That he is. Stranger says, not going to lie, Magnetar reminds you of Dark Sonium in terms of voice narration and mood. Is
that good?
I think so.
I assume that's good, right?
Yeah, that's good. It's a compliment. You're like,
yeah.
You sounded a bit worried for a sec. I'm sorry.
Well,
wasn't the way I read it. It's like, he said this. Just want you to know. I didn't mean. I'm sorry, Brandon. I didn't mean your comment to come out. Oh dear. I mean, that is true. I am basically a VTuber, but full on does sound costly. But like, look. Just think about how funny it would be.
Yeah, I was very lucky to have a friend who was practicing her rigging and animation or whatever, and did it for me for free. Unfortunately, we've had a falling out since, but I'm still very appreciative of her for a lot of things, but especially for that.
Brandon continues and says, Dark Sonium has more of an innocent sounding voice. Like he's some kid in over his head. Magnetar sounds more comfortable with the paranormal.
I'll take that, yeah, for sure as a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah. Stranger adds, DS is more like the kind of guy you'd sit with, and he would open up a book and he would read to you.
Yeah, just very sweet and like fatherly. You know, he's lulling you to bed.
Stranger adds, Magnetar is like the person you'd find in the shadows, and he would guide you through the narratives. But still, Magnetar reminds me a lot of Dark Sonium.
Hey kids, you want to hear a story? Just like sitting in the alley.
Just walking. No, that's how we met. I'm like, it's like, yeah, sure, why not? I've got nothing else to do.
Right.
Oh, that's true, Hasselfeld. Hasselfeld is teaching me Spanish. And I know none
nice.
so far. It's all good. I'm curious to hear what your take on my voice is, Stranger, or of my narrations too. Some little shameless moment there. Let's see. Hartzefeld is asking you, Mags, where are you from and what languages do you speak? Or would you like to speak?
I was born and raised in Texas. I've worked in a lot of states around the country. I currently live in the DC area. I speak English. I understand and read Spanish more than I could speak it, even though my entire family is fluent in it, because I am part Venezuelan, part Peruvian, part Mexican, with a little bit of German and English sprinkled in. Unfortunately, I am not fluent in Spanish, despite that. Growing up in rural Texas, it's almost a survival tactic to sort of assimilate and be as not, be not as different as you can be in a way, which is unfortunate. I am sad by that, but it is what it is. So I know a little bit of Spanish, and I'm working on my Spanish, but I also am learning. And this happened before shit hit the fan, but I'm also learning Russian.
Nice.
So like, you know, the Cyrillic alphabets. I chose Russian because I think the culture is really interesting, and the music and like the works of literature and stuff. But also, it was enticing to kind of like be able to learn a new alphabet. So yeah.
Nice. Oh, thank you, Hasafel. Hasafel says Magnetar sounds like that cool teacher that has fun sarcasm. However, you don't want to see him angry.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dun dun dun. Laura says, no, it is costly. Full rigging and animation can be well over $10,000 US. What?
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about like character art, then the rigging,
yeah.
then like emotes or hand tracking, full body tracking, yeah, it can get very, very expensive very quickly.
Oh, so much money.
Yeah.
That would be not 20K for me, not quite that much, but like maybe 15K.
Mm-hmm.
It's like...
Quite a bit out of reach for most people.
Yeah. It's like, can I justify this? No, I can't. Not yet. Someday. Oh, hell yeah, stranger. I appreciate you checking it out. So Hasafel has offered to teach you Spanish, Magnetar. Hey, Omar! Hey! Omar's like, wow, Lady Spookaria, you're not behind. Damn it. I feel attacked right now. What do you mean by countries, Ash Souls? Do you mean like what countries we'd like to visit?
What?
I don't know. I might be behind on the Shut up, Omar. Shut up. Shut up. He just wanted to drink. I see. God damn it. See what I put up with, Mags. See what I put up with. So Brandon says, what narration goals do you have that a large donation would solve?
I would be able to afford more quickly to pay this male narrator, or this male voice actor, to finish the remainder of his lines for the Americans Go to the Moon story. Again, very good, exactly what I'm looking for, but not cheap. So it would go to that probably first, and then of course Jordan Long, the woman I collaborate with and work with on a lot of my stories, specifically now the Eclipse stories. You know, I pay her what she's worth, which I believe she's worth a lot. So it helped me afford that as well, especially now when I'm in a less stable financial situation than I have been in the last few years, because I'm exploring another project that I'm working on, not YouTube related, but yeah.
I know what you're doing, Laura. I am not taking the bait. I know exactly what you're doing. So, do you know about the bingo game associated with my chat?
I do not.
Oh, so there's a bingo game. That was...
Okay.
And so, like, I know some of the things that they, like, tried to lead me down to talk, particularly Laura, and I know what you're doing. I know.
Same.
Laura. I'm onto you. I'm learning. Oh, Ash Souls says, but yeah, no, I meant his heritage or bloodline. I don't know It's just a lot of cultures and countries.
Yeah, I mean, colonialism was a thing. So that's where the like English and German part of me comes from. But then my grandpa was Peruvian, from Peru. My grandma was in Venezuela. On my dad's side, and on my mom's side, it's the Mexican and German. So yeah, a lot of cultures. Funny enough, not everyone, but people think I am Indian or Middle Eastern because I guess I look one of those, even though I'm nowhere near that. Even like Indians will try, like actual Indians will try to speak like Hindi to me, and I'm like, no, dude, sorry, wrong guy.
Oh, like someone was being rude to you. I saw you posted on Twitter. Like they're like, "No, I
Yeah.
know you're this," and you're like, "No, I think I know what I am. Thank you."
Yeah, he was like, oh, he posted like an emoji of like a dude with like an emoji of a guy with a turban and like trying to like insult me, and I'm like, I'm not even anything related to that. And he's like, oh, I know what you are. You can't lie to me. I know exactly what you look like. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
That's messed up.
Yeah.
Brandon says in capital letters, but I'm not going to scream at everyone. How much money do you need, OMG? And then I want that Americans weren't the first on the moon story so bad.
I know. I'm sorry. It's coming. It's coming. You will be the first to know.
Stranger says this is about to be a detective series for real. Hey Magnetar, do you need to tell me? May you tell me what the? Oh my god, I'm sorry. What the rifle model your character is holding?
I can't, because I believe the concept artist that I had make the art, you know, I had to make a couple of pieces of art, and this was one of them. I believe this is like just his own design based on some reference images that I sent him. I don't think it, you know, is like a replica of any existing or, you know, weapon that exists in another sci-fi universe. Yeah, so I can't really answer that, and I haven't named it yet. So we can come up with a name right now if you'd like.
Yeah, no, we need to name it.
Yeah, let's name it. Let's give it a proper, you know, designation,
Of
and then,
course,
you know, maybe we just have like our nickname for it.
of course. No, I have to show people the other one because it looks like you were like the way. No, I have to just show everyone. It looked like you were threatening me with the gun. It's just so funny.
I mean, if I could, I would.
I mean, you wouldn't dare be scared to.
Good night, hopeful generation.
Oh, good night, hopeful, sweet dreams. Oh no, it's on the wrong side. How do I don't know how to flip things in. Hang on. Big brain this. Where's? I'll work it out.
The Void Frontier, huh? Void Frontier rifle. I like that. Where did I'm curious where the X1N67 came from. It's got to be 7.62. None of that 5.56 crap. Come on. Are we allowed to talk about this on stream? Are you gonna get demonetized?
I don't know. I don't know what the rules regarding firearms are. So just be careful, guys.
All right.
So we'll just call it Gunny McGun and like be done with it. No, something more cool than that. You just pause mid sentence. You're like, yeah,
Yeah.
You're like, no, lady, no, please no. Laura, you look like a skeleton to me. Oh, fictional ones are fine. Okay. So long as we don't talk about real ones, Neil won't come in and like beat me up.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Still using kinetic guns.
you know, if how do I say this so it's not likely to get demonetized? A force multiplier will always be a force multiplier. It'll always, I think it'll be effective unless there's some sort of, like in Halo, the Covenant have, those plasma shields. Or energy shields, in which case plasma is better. But maybe it isn't 762. Maybe it's some new energy-based ammunition or charge.
Okay, everyone. I think it is time to prepare to wrap. I'm sorry if you guys wanted to keep going, but like it is getting a bit late and it's past midnight. So?
It's not past midnight for you.
I mean, well, yeah, but it is for you.
Yeah, a little bit.
We can continue this conversation when you come back.
Okay. Sounds good.
You're like, I'm not tired.
Nah, I probably still won't be able to fall asleep for a few hours because that's my life.
But is there anything you'd like to say to the chat? And chat, is there anything you'd like to say to Mags or to myself? Also, please subscribe to me if you haven't already.
Yeah, subscribe to Lady because she's awesome and let me come on tonight.
Of course.
And was an amazing host.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being here because it was a really engaging conversation and I feel like we never ran out of things to talk about. So that was really fun.
That's true.
And yeah, subscribe to Lady, subscribe to me, join our Discords. We both have a Discord. Mine is relatively new, so bear with me as I figure out how to manage a Discord server. And yeah, thanks.
Oh wow, Brandon says, I just sent Magnetar $150 to finish the series. Thanks for streaming. My goodness.
I can confirm he did that, and that's absurd. And I really thank you for that, and I'll find some way to thank you for that, Brandon. I appreciate you. When you come down, I will take you to dinner, or come up. I'm not sure where you are, but when you come to my area in a few months, I'll take you to dinner. How about that as well?
Oh yeah, so here is Mag's Discord. Oh, thank you, stranger. I'm sorry, like, it's also, I'm getting tired. But yes, thank you everyone for coming. I really appreciate that. Also, lurkers and people listening afterwards, I hope you learned a lot more about Magnetar and his stories and what he's about. If you haven't already, check out my latest video, The Forgotten Tomb, and the others as well. They're pretty cool, if I may say so myself. Subscribe to Magnetar if you haven't already. Please do this. Do yourself a favor and do it. He has very high production quality on his work.
Do it.
Do it. Do it now, damn it. Alright, so I think that's it. Stay safe, my little spooklings. And remember, I'll be watching you.